Whoa.
It felt like a fever dream. Did it really exist? Is it real?
I will say, I appreciate you having me in for that bit, with the
Oh,
Fallout food. Oh man, it's good to be back here doing the things. Oh
yes.
god.
Lots to discuss, obviously. An event happened, a little teeny tiny event.
Yeah. Multiple events
Yes.
have happened
Oh,
at this point.
yes. Multiple
Multiple
across
coasts.
state lines, East Coast, West Coast, Japan.
Yeah.
Everybody's having events.
It's mid season. This is when everybody actually starts to go to the event.
That's
The
true.
events, plural.
Events.
Yeah.
Don't
But
mind me.
how's everybody doing? How's it hanging? I know we have a couple people in the stream right now. We are back. We are back. But lots to talk about. We have a new haunted houses, we have new zones, we have new food, we have new everything. We have changes, we have big things that we all have thoughts on. Good changes, bad changes, things we like, things we don't.
Yeah. And we even had sort of a late announcement for Vegas, which is came
Yeah.
out of nowhere.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like nobody was really like that. Like I think people assumed we were going to get something holiday themed
Yeah.
because
Because they
of
kind of, I think
teased
they said it in the press release, like certain uh, events around holidays,
it.
which, that could be different holidays. But
Yeah, but the holiday that usually they tie Halloween with is getting something, which is
yeah,
exciting to talk about. Excited for Halloween? Yes, of
yes,
course. This is the
I've
time.
been watching horror movies practically almost every day. It's been real stressful to try to do that.
Damn. Yeah, I haven't seen. I've only seen the one clip that you posted, or the one
Yes, I will
horror
be
movie
doing
challenge.
those back again because there's a lot. I
Yeah.
watched one that you recommended. I watched
Yeah.
another. Pretty much like this week, I went with a theme, I guess, sort
Mhm.
of watching something from the '90s, something from the '60s. Well, two from the '60s. I'll count it as the '50s. I watched something from the '70s. So I was trying to do, pretty much every decade or whatever. And then one week I'll choose maybe like, I don't know, like top horror films of the last like 4 years that I've missed because there's too many I've missed.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm trying to think of. I haven't. I mean, I watched Beetlejuice for my yearly rewatch, not too long ago. Um,
Beetlejuice or Beetlejuice?
just the original one.
Okay.
Just the original. Well, I think we're planning on watching Beetlejuice again. There are a couple movies that I always go back to. I got to see Trick or Treat. I'm thinking about if I can make it to the theater release. It's next Tuesday. I
Ooh,
might.
they're
I might
actually
try to go
doing that.
see. Yeah,
Oh,
it's only one night only. I think it's Regal that's doing it.
mm.
Um, they're 31 days. They had last weekend, as kind of relates to obviously the event this year.
And
For yeah, Halloween Horror Nights, but also Friday the 13th 3D in 3D. And I'm so
ooh,
mad. I
ooh.
missed that. I wish I got to see that.
You know, side question: did you ever see that movie that was inspired by Jason that came out? I think last year or the year before.
What's the title of
I
it?
believe it's called In a Violent Nature.
Oh, and a violent. Yes, 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 yes.
Yeah, that
That movie.
literally Hulu jumped to that like the next day, and I was like, "What is this?" And then just started, and I was like, "Oh,
Yeah,
I'm
it's
gonna
yes,
have to
yes.
maybe sit and try to
Yes.
dissect this a little bit."
Yeah, you gotta watch. That's a movie you gotta watch. I recently saw Weapons. I want to watch it
Heard that was
again.
good.
I enjoyed it. I didn't. I don't think I loved it as much as a lot of other people did, but I thought it was an enjoyable time. We saw it in IMAX, and IMAX for that was great. There was one really tense moment that for those who've seen the movie, don't spoil it, but it involves a car. and someone getting into a car, and the whole theater, I just felt everybody go like the air was just sucked out of the room in that one moment in IMAX, which was great. But
I'm
yeah,
very
horror.
confused who this is because
That was
that wasn't
I think
me.
that was me. I think it's when I put in the chat, it comes through on your end. But
Oh,
yeah,
okay. That's why I was like, wait a second. Do I have
we
like
yeah, the
someone
alter
else with
ego,
the
Chris.
account?
Chris with the K.
That's right. Chris with a
Accurate.
K. But
Yeah,
more importantly, movies are a big part of the haunt season
yeah. Live the
because they
horror, live the
lead
watch.
us to this,
Mm,
which, Halloween Horror Nights 34. Oh,
there they are.
there they
There's
are. Let's give
Wicked
them
Thrill
some love.
Seekers.
There they are. Big timers. You know, they're going to be waving at us from their VIP lines, next year. Come next year.
A shout out to Wicked Thrill Seekers.
Yes.
You're not following them. They make some of, I think, the best
Oh, yeah.
not just horror nights. Like they did a video from Fear Reach.
Mm-hmm.
That was a really like incredible video. Sir
Mm.
Henry's. They do great stuff all
Yes.
around. Spooky stuff, haunted hotels, haunted places, not just horror night stuff.
Yeah.
But yes, so horror nights is here. It's been here for a hot
It's
minute.
it's been here. Anybody in the audience? Have you been? Have you not been?
Yeah, we've been. Um, Albert, how did we like Hollywood? Just basic thoughts, because I know we're probably going to talk more about in depth at least some of the overlap, because you've been to Hollywood. I went to Orlando. We both went to Orlando, and they have some of the same IPs, some done very differently.
I will say it is an improvement over what they've been doing to a certain degree. There are Hollywood staples that they still just cannot get rid of, which it's that same, hey, we ran out of ideas for the last like 3 or 4 rooms, and we're going to do the black curtain, and here's a bunch of characters popping out. It happened in Jason. It happened in, I feel like it happens in Poltergeist. It
Poltergeist.
happened in, I think, Wyatt 6 might have been almost like that. So it's kind of one of those things where Hollywood folks love it because I guess it's just what they accept. But like from my mindset, it's like, no, stop doing this. Like you have the space, do something creative here. But it just feels like, like it's like, I don't know, like playing a football game and then you get to the fourth quarter and you're like, forget this. I'm going to go just sit on the bench.
It's sticking the landing, which I feel like sometimes, and I've noticed this a lot with Orlando's houses, and I think we can kind of talk about this when we talk about Orlando. A big trend that I've noticed this year with a lot of houses, even houses that I love, they all kind of just end. Like they're like a lot of the houses this year kind of just it ends, and you're like, oh, and
Yeah.
it's done. And I know there are a couple houses that I can think of that feel dramatic. Like I will say, right off the bat, Terrifier, I think, probably has the best ending of any haunted house because it feels big. When you go in there in
Yes.
the wet path and the dry
Yeah.
path, you're
Yeah.
like, and you have this epic music, all the other characters come out, like, that feels like a true ending.
Mm-hmm.
Versus some of the other houses where it's like, and then we're out of the soundstage or out of the tent. And so that's something that I feel like I think both coasts kind of suffer with that. But Hollywood, I mean, they have the tried and true scare square like that. Like it works. Like
Yeah.
I don't think it works for every house. I think for certain houses it definitely can work, like an Insidious or in a like if you're in a scare focused house. But then in a house like Wyatt 6, I feel like that might be different. It might not feel the same.
Yeah. And Hollywood has, they have a lot of interesting factors that are going to be working against them in the future, like whether this fan fest, takes more of the budget or it bleeds into the dates or whatever they can get worked, on past, fan fest ending. Between that, the Terror Tram, who knows, that's up in the air. Are they going to do Purge Dangerous Waters again? You know what I mean? Like it's the same show. not quite the same show. It's the same show, but it just felt different. I don't know if they added, seemed like they added more this year, but I didn't find myself enjoying it as much as I did previous years. I don't know why, but because it felt like the same show. In the streets, which that's the most interesting aspect, is that their actors make those streets what they are, because the streets are not technically scare zones. It's a couple props, very, very minimal. It's like our, almost like our zone from last year, our favorite zone in Hollywood. See, I blank out on the names all the
Which one?
time.
The Brewhouse Zone?
No, the zone in
The
Hollywood,
Oh, in
Hollywood
Hollywood,
Boulevard in Orlando.
Hollywood Boulevard.
Yes, where it's
Like
minimal set design,
yeah.
but it's mostly just based upon the actors doing what they do.
Mhm.
It feels a lot like that, but everywhere you go, very minimal. So it's hard to say. I can see there's promise there, and I can see they're getting there, but their event is just as busy as Orlando's event. I mean,
Yeah.
Orlando's event maybe even more and
Sure.
more crazier for the lines. But their event, it does feel like, you know, when you have those moments where, like, literally we went in the Terrifier and we got out, and I was like, the line's like barely there. I was like, do you guys want to go again? Because this is it. Like, we won't get this chance again. So we went right back again, and walked right into the house. And then right afterwards, you see nothing but lines outside of the
Yeah.
houses. And we're like, yep, we're not coming
Mhm.
back to Curious George lot.
Yeah.
So
Orlando's like
it's,
that too. Orlando is like that too, where you sometimes hit a break and you get like, oh man, I could slide into a line real quick,
mm-hmm.
and then you do it maybe one time, and if you have the chance to lap it, you can.
But you
Um,
pay for that mistake. Yeah, you pay for your mistakes.
and I'm sure we'll talk about lines when we talk about premium, but I want to go to some of the comments here. I know Coaster Thon, WWE is the best IP house. I know they commented again. Best IP house this year, and the other house is closest Terrifier. Fallout is mid slash okay. You know what? I understand that, and it's like it's definitely, and we'll probably talk about Fallout a little more later on. But I think Fallout it's a quirky house. It's got a lot of weird things that I'm like, yeah, for most people, this is not going to work. Like, I was curious. Everybody I went to the event with, asking them, what do you think of this house? Because I feel like there are people that get it and that are like, oh yeah, I love this. And there are a lot of people who are like, I haven't seen the show. I don't know the series.
Yeah,
The house isn't
no
scary.
context.
It doesn't really work for many different reasons. So like, I'm not going to get like, I enjoy the house a lot, but I understand why people don't, essentially. Um, but
Yeah,
um,
our group enjoyed the Hollywood version a lot. Like, we
mhm.
walked out and we were like, that was great. Like,
Yeah,
that's probably our number one or number two.
yeah,
And we kept debating it all night, like picking house rankings.
yeah. That, and I wish, and I know Albert, they do have the Kings, so that
Yes.
New Vegas character, which I think I'm like, they've added ghouls to Orlando's Fallout. They've added two ghouls. One as soon as you exit the vault, and then one in the big Philly shootout scene. Why
Okay.
don't we have one of those guys? Like, why isn't one of the ghouls one of those guys as a little nod or something that is a nod to season two? Because I
Yeah.
feel like that is a thing that they really hyped up, and it didn't really the tease for season two just wasn't there. I'm not taking a projection of a death claw as a tease for anything. Just like I don't take the puppet plushies from Five Nights as a tease for anything either.
Yeah.
And a big since opening weekend, they've added a big go see Five Nights at Freddy's 2 in theaters, just like in Hollywood. So I don't
So
take
right
that as
at
a
the
tease.
end, yeah,
Yeah.
because in Hollywood, it's like a poster. As soon as you walk out, it's just like, there's the poster. Like, hey,
So this is a great comment. I know there's another comment about FNAF. Fallout is a fan fest experience, which I wouldn't be mad at that. I think a Fallout, if they had done a Fallout experience a lot like they did with on Dungeons and Dragons, where it's an interactive, you do Pulse, and you have it like a group thing. Because Fallout is a role playing game, I think if you
Mm,
were to, you can involve the
yeah.
different factions, and I think it could have been a little more true to the game or even the series. On the other hand, I think this brings up an interesting question that I was gonna say, and I'm glad it kind of ties in because we're talking about Hollywood. I know FanFest has already, I feel like has already kind of signaled what's to come for HHN Hollywood with Chainsaw Man.
Yeah.
Obviously, Jujutsu Kaisen was at FanFest. Next year, we're getting Classic Monsters and Scooby Doo at FanFest. How much are they going to bleed these two together? Because it seemed like it was very much like FanFest is over here and Horror Nights is over here. And it's two
Yeah.
separate things, and they're even two separate teams. Like John Murdy does not do anything with FanFest. But are they going to work things out? Or could there be a multi level integration in the future where, like, let's say Stranger Things could find a home at both? You could see a
Mm,
Stranger Things experience, a different experience happening at FanFest versus Horror Nights. Like, the potential is really interesting for FanFest as an
yeah.
experience. And then that's not even addressing the elephant in the room of it ever potentially coming over here to the East Coast. So I can see this comment. I can
Because I
see
know
people doing
Murdy was
this.
asked multiple times, like, where's the monsters? And he's like, oh, like,
Go
for
to
the first
Vegas.
time in a while, like, we're taking a break. Like, they're over at Epic if you want to, like, go see them.
Mm-hmm.
And they're also at Horror Unleashed, in
Yeah.
Vegas right
Yeah, on the
now.
West Coast.
So did he already, like, know that FanFest was kind of in the works with using Universal Monsters? Maybe.
Maybe.
Maybe he
Maybe.
lended some ideas to that. Maybe he didn't.
Yeah. Yeah. And it makes me wonder because I don't think it'll be Scooby Doo and classic monsters like how we're seeing the Halloween Hornets. I'm sure it's going to be a lot goofier, a lot
Yeah.
sillier. It's going to be more of your like classic monster characters. Because I want to say they had like a Frankenstein character and a Dracula character in Scooby Doo at one point or another.
Yeah.
Um,
I wonder if
like,
it'll be like you're walking into like Dracula's castle or something to that degree, and you're like with the Scooby Doo gang looking around for clues or something.
mm-hmm. um,
Or unless they just do it in the streets, like, like how they had Back to the Future
yeah,
in that
that's
section.
I think it's going to be in Little Europe. I think that they're going to take over Little Europe and have what everybody's been asking for, but then adding the Scooby Doo component of like
Mm,
it's a little sillier, and it also involves Scooby Doo, which is an
yeah.
IP. How many times have you heard people say, "When's this going to come to Horror Nights?" Like, when's when are we getting a Scooby Doo house?
Every
That's
year.
I think what is that kind of response, which that makes me excited because it tells you that they're listening and they're going, "No, we hear you. Maybe not a Horror Nights,
Yeah.
but we're going to do a Volcano Bay. We're going to have the characters come out. I'm sure maybe in the daytime, like I would love to see at like Islands of Adventure, them
Hmm.
do, Halloween for kids or for
And
like,
Texas.
families and
We have that
Texas.
Texas.
And so doing something like that where it's like, you don't have like not as scary because Scooby-Doo is like as scary as Ghostbusters. It's not
Yeah.
like it doesn't have that kind of fear appeal,
Which
but you know,
I
with that,
think
it's
that could be the merger because we've had Ghostbusters at Halloween Horror Nights. I
yeah,
could definitely see that being a part of FanFest.
yeah.
Not this year, but next year I can definitely see
And
something. Is there
I
an
would love it.
anniversary coming up, or it already
Ghostbusters.
passed?
We already hit anniversary last year.
Ah, shoot,
Last year was the 40th. That's why they
darn.
brought the house last year.
Well,
Um, Talking about properties that are not super scary. Five Nights at Freddy's 2, 100% coming in because Universal isn't going to get rid of it. I mean, I could totally see it.
yeah,
I'm not shocked. And I think because
and
they
Vegas, baby,
Vegas,
Vegas.
I don't even think Vegas. I think honestly it's too good for Vegas.
Oh,
Is too. Don't put it over
mm,
there
don't.
because with Five Nights at Freddy's, for one, you have to have the scale, and I can't attest to how I've heard the houses are big in Vegas, like they're
Mm,
pretty large scale, like Orlando esque kind of scale.
soundstage, yeah,
Yeah, so they're not like I don't know if that's necessarily a reason, but Five Nights is a premier horror night. That is we've seen the merch, we've seen the lines at Louis, we've seen the people coming dressed up as Freddy characters. It's a hot thing for horror nights, and I could see them going, this is too big for y'all. Like y'all can have the repeats. I could see Terrifier going to
Mm,
Vegas. That one I wouldn't be shocked because that's a I think Terrifier is going to become my guess is that Terrifier is going to become what Michael Myers is, what Leatherface is. It's going to become a slasher they do multiple
he's
times.
yeah.
He's going to become within the canon, and we're just seeing his first appearance this year, which is big. It's a
Yeah.
big deal
And
because
they could they could stretch it out so much because they only gave us a little, like what, one room, two rooms of Christmas. They can do a whole house if they wanted to, a holiday like overlay, and then do the fourth one
Mhm.
if they wanted to.
Yeah, I think that's like the thing is it'll be interesting seeing where these IPs end up. Like I could see Fallout coming back at a fan fest. I could see Terrifier going to a Vegas. I could see Five Nights being like Stranger Things, where it's a marquee house year in and year out. And speaking of Stranger Things, that's a great comment. I mean, we're seeing the rollout of Stranger Things already. Everybody's talking
Everybody's
about
gearing up.
merch. All,
Yeah.
so
I yeah, I 100% can see that. It would be weird. It'd be really weird if they just missed the mark on that one.
it's a gimme. It's a gimme. Everybody wants it. It could be that final. Here's the last time we
Bye
do it.
bye.
So it is. It that also creates this demand of like, come here if you haven't been. Come this year,
Yeah,
and this is
because
it.
along with last year, and then if they follow next year with the big IPs, and
Mhm.
that's what I've read in every comment section about this year. People are like, "Man, these IPs are great. The
Yeah,
houses this year, the big like
the big
the big
properties.
movie houses, they got the big ones. They're great.
Yep.
They follow that up with, the high demand. That's how you do it. You bring something like a Stranger Things, a FNAF 2.
Hmm.
Those are huge. And then you top it all off with the Conjuring, please. Conjuring. And then you sprinkle in Scream. There we go. that would be
Yeah,
that would be like, I'm done. I'm getting Express. I
it's
don't care
time.
what
Yeah, I think we should bring him back next year.
who? Billy?
Put him on. It's been a minute. I had to wake y'all up. Anyway, but yeah, no, I think like, and that's next year. This is this year. But what I will say, when I, and this is a little bit of context for my rankings that I know a lot of you have had some interesting responses to my ranking video. My rankings, I really love a good majority of the houses this year. Like even the houses near the bottom, like I'd say FNAF is probably my least favorite IP this year.
Mm-hmm.
It's still a great house. Very well designed. Puppets look great. Animatronics look great. It's very true to the movie.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like this is like, yeah, it's like wish fulfillment for a lot of people, including myself, who's, grown up with the games and like has been kind of around the games for many, many years. But I think all the IP houses, and I kind of jumping more on IP specifically, I think all the IP houses are great. I think all of them.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoy all of the IP
Yeah.
houses.
They took their time and money and care for these properties.
Yeah. And I think like even the ones that I think are a little more, because you could clearly tell Five Nights got the budget. Like
Yeah.
that's the budget house. Terrifier also I could see got a lot of love and attention and budget. White Six, prime example. I think those are the big three. Where Jason works, it is a kind of a it Jason works because you also have people who have been doing this a long time who know how Jason works. You put him in a dark forest, you make it real tight, you put a bunch of characters in there, you can make it work. It doesn't have to be this big, over to the top, grand, like that hallway, that infamous hallway that everybody loves to talk about. It's a hallway. It's got just a bunch of boo holes. It's not anything too great, but like it works. It works
Yeah.
for Jason. But as far as like big houses that you could tell are like I say, like the swan song IP houses, Terrifier, Five Nights, and WWE, you like, yeah, you could tell they put a lot of time, a lot of effort in fleshing out the areas.
Oh yeah, for sure. They've done it.
They did it. But I guess we could talk specifically about specific houses now. Where do you want to start? I have some photos from Unmasking the Horror that I will probably sprinkle on the screen from time to time if we're talking about something specific.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing too crazy. I'm not showing the entire houses in here, just a couple key photos that I took um, for most of the houses except for Five Nights because no tour for that one. But where would you like
So
to start?
I will start with this one. It's really interesting for me because I have not really gone in this house a whole lot, which is just weird. I've only done this house, I think, once. And I've done all the other houses multiple times except for Dolls.
Dolls, okay.
Dolls, I've only done it once. And
Dolls.
I don't know if it's just because it's always busy or I just don't have the desire to go to it. But I've only done it once and it wasn't horrible. It wasn't bad. It's just, you know, it's
Mhm.
I would rather have, Dollhouse of the Dam, the
Sure,
sequel.
sure. And for me, I think Dolls took a while to really for me to really fall in love with it. And I know people who love this house. I know plenty of people who are non HHN people that go for one night and they come out going, the Dollhouse was scary. It was really cool. It was really
Mm.
kind of imaginative. And I will say, there are moments in this house that I think it really hits greatness. I think with the context of everything, there are some really just weird, creepy costumes in here. Creepy, there's like design rooms. The characters get a lot of range of motion, which I love, and I don't hear enough people talking about how yes, there are boo holes, but there are plenty of open rooms with multiple characters just sitting there waiting for you. And I've had them where they'll jump in front of you, where like they'll put their hand out, like it's like a like great kind of like design, and I can see where some people are totally not into that, but I think it works for this kind of house, and I appreciate just kind of how grim this house is. Like it's disturbing. It's very like it's creepy, and I think it works for that reason. Um, but there are also parts of this house that I'm like I don't love as much as others. I do appreciate there are
Hmm.
two big facades inside of the tent, which I can appreciate. Both of the tents have some pretty big facades for sprung tents. But yeah, I know you said okay. Is it more of you haven't gotten the time to go through it, or like because I know you mentioned the line, and this one does get kind of a crazy queue. Like I will say,
Uh, if I had to say, it's probably the time wise.
hmm
Just by the time I get, to that point, like you said, we mentioned this before. It's like once you wait till like past 7:30, you're like, well, I'm either going to be waiting an hour for an house, an hour and a half, and I just don't see myself waiting for this house for an hour. 30 minutes, sure. 40 minutes with friends, but like to just stand in an hour long line for dolls, I would rather just wait for Galkin or Wyatt or Terrifier for that same time.
so this is an interesting comment from Jonathan. To enjoy the dollhouse, you have to do the interactive features. I feel like I don't know. I feel like this is a house that has a lot of them because
Hmm.
normally they'll have one and it won't really even do much. Like these, like you have one that rings the doorbell, you have one that actually like vibrates the floor, you have one that does a little like lighting effect, and like I think that's cool, and I like that they have a lot of the gaps in here.
Hmm.
I think it's cool. Like it's like I don't know if you have to do them to enjoy the house. I don't know if it's necessarily like that, but I think like
Kind of adds to the fun, I
oh
guess.
yeah, it adds to the fun. It adds to the silliness of it because it
Hmm.
is like I don't see where it's the comedy house. I don't see it this year. I would say Fallout is more along the lines of a comedy esque house than
I
Dolls
mean,
is.
if
But
someone was brand new to Horror Nights or like a younger, let's say
yeah,
like a teenager, I would say start off with FNAF and
mhm.
then go to Dolls. I think Dolls would be kind of the perfect second one, I would think.
So I don't know why, but dolls and major suites feel the exact same, which isn't a bad thing. I
Hmm.
kind of see what you're saying because I do kind of get a little bit
A
of like a
whimsical and yeah.
whimsical, but also what major suites gave me was kind of an old school vibe. Like it felt like one of those things that Horror Nights, love it or hate it, does these really out there concepts, and sometimes they take their houses a little too seriously. And sometimes you see houses that you're like, okay, like you obviously for some houses they're trying to deliberately tell a more mature story. El Artista as an example, but at the same time you have like I feel like if you turn it back to something like an HR Blood and Guts or Leave It to Cleaver or even like a zombie gra or like from that kind of era, there was some ridiculousness that was happening there. That's like it's silly. It's silly. They know it's a kind of a goofy haunted house, and that's kind of how I feel. I see that. I see the parallels with both. I don't know about the exact same because I think Major Suites leans into that a little more than Dolls does. But I don't know. As someone who, because I know you mentioned Dollhouse of the Damned and that
Hmm.
you would rather have Dollhouse of the Damned, how do you feel about putting these two houses together? Because obviously they're not the same, but they're spiritual sequels in a
Yeah,
way.
yeah. I mean, I could definitely see in a alternate universe that this was like a sequel to Dollhouse of the Dam, where we didn't go super weird and chaotic and like just nightmarish. We just kind of went like the opposite side. We went to it being more a little more colorful, a little more playful.
Hmm.
Yeah, I could definitely see that.
Yeah, but um, yeah. So seeing because we could talk about this with a couple other houses too. Seeing the houses with the lights on versus lights off because we did that with both of these. And for us, we got to see them beforehand with the lights on.
Hmm.
Do you think that necessarily impacted your experience? I know for me it did. For me, the first time I walked through this house, I was seeing the stuff that it was only a week prior. So I was like, okay, well, I remember seeing this with the lights on. And I wasn't super impressed, but I think maybe going in with an open mind, not have seen it, I might have had a different reaction. But I'm curious your thought on that.
I I feel like it was about what I expected once I understood like, hey, this is not Dollhouse of the Dam. Like,
Yeah.
get that out of your mind. Then I
Yeah.
was like, oh, this is exactly reading the synopsis and understanding kind of what they were going for. I'm like, yeah, this is what I imagined it would have been.
Hmm.
And I mean, seeing it with the lights on or the lights, like show lights and characters in there, it's like, this is what I imagine it would have been.
Hmm.
It had no like effect of downgrading the house or getting me even more excited for the house. It was just like, yeah, this is what this is. This is what I expect.
Mm.
Not to say that's bad, but it's just
Yeah.
I expected that.
Yeah. Um, yeah. I mean, I feel like that's kind of it. Also, Jonathan, I see your comment. We'll probably talk about favorites later, like once we go through everything. Um, if you know me, you should know what my favorite house is. But for the people who don't, I'll keep it a surprise. But I mean, you probably know at this
Yeah,
point. But
I mean, I
Chris
could
is a little
spoil
bit.
it.
No, no.
Oh,
Chris
okay.
is a little more of an enigma. We don't quite know
Yeah,
all of the favorites. But
I can give a few out there. I just haven't lined them up quite
yeah,
yet.
you haven't done it. That's why I feel like rankings for me because they've already changed since my video,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll probably address that at some point later on in the stream of like what has changed for me because I don't think I'm going to do a full video talking about that. Um, but I guess let's jump to. Do you have a specific house in mind? Because if we want, I could jump to a house that I I don't think I gave the not Billy, not Billy. Hold on. A house that I came around to, not that I didn't like it on opening weekend,
Mm-hmm.
but I think seeing it a third time because I saw we did it on premium night.
Mm-hmm.
I did it during opening weekend. I did it again a couple weeks ago. And
Hmm.
we have to talk about it. Terrifier.
Oh.
Terrifier. This is a house that I know a lot of people are hyped about. Oh, Clown Cafe,
That's right.
better than the food. Um, but but
Clown
yes.
Cafe.
So with Terrifier, we had a very interesting experience with this on premium night.
Oh, Terrifier.
Yeah,
Yes, that
Terrifier.
was. Ooh, that was
So
worth the ticket.
so it was a rebound of doing 5 nights. The first house that we did, we got out of 5 nights doing stand
Yeah,
screen.
that was just for me to warm up.
Yeah, and then Terrifier, I want to say they cracked it open a couple minutes early, and it hadn't gotten, people hadn't realized it yet. So we just walked up, and
Yeah.
it was literally like no line, like your door was just open.
Dreamport
Like,
was like, come on, come on, come on.
yeah, no, I was like, let's go, because I hadn't seen it, and we both had, it was both our first time in the house, and we went in, and it was just us.
The
Just
entire house.
us. That was
Yeah.
a full solo run of
Yeah.
Terrifier for our first time. And I was, at that point, I was loving it. I was like, oh my God, this is great. But in the back of my mind, I was like, is this going to skew my view of the house? Because it is the first, and this is like my first impression of the house. And obviously, I know that's never going to happen again. Maybe if you are the last person in the house at the very end of a random night, maybe, but not like that. Not like the way it was during premium. So I do it again opening weekend, because the first time was scary because it was actually like scares happening. Do it again opening weekend. It's fun. Art is dancing around, he's waving, he's clapping, he's doing all the things. I'm like, okay, I like this house. I put it, I want to say, at number 6 on my list. Number 6, number 7, I don't remember. Something like that. But I was like, I woke up one day and I was like, we're great. I'm great. Talking about Terrifier. Let's put something else. So yeah, so this is almost looks like Billy a little bit. But yeah, so I'm like, I need to do this house again. I feel like I haven't gone since opening weekend. I got to see it again. And then I do it again, and I walk in the soundstage, and he is there. He's walking around.
He's in the front.
It's a very rare, from what I've been told. It
man.
doesn't happen very often. He was walking around,
Damn.
and I got my one-on-one interaction with Art. Obviously, I couldn't film it or take a picture or anything, but it was literally like that one-on-one interaction with Art where he was walking around the front, and I was like, "Look, Art, I love how you did like what you did with the
blood,
the facade."
Yeah,
and he was smiling and waving and pointing at other people to like look at his stuff.
Oh,
And it was a great moment. And then like the rest of the house was like, no, this house really is that good. Like this house is that good. This house is that good. I'd make an argument. And I'm sure you guys in the chat would agree with me. This is not a hot take, but out of all of the houses this year, this one is worth the wait. It's out of all the houses, I feel like this is the most complete package where you're getting a long house. Like I said, it doesn't just abruptly end. It doesn't just like, oh, and then we're done.
Yeah.
They take you through all the scenes. They throw you in the ringer. They said, we're going to spray you. We're going to make it smell like shit in here. We're going to make it, all this crazy stuff happening all at once. And then you come out and then it's literally like the gates of hell are opening up and he's up there at the top. Like, what are you going to choose? And I did the wet path again. They've turned it up.
Oh no.
They've turned it up. It was not like that opening weekend. Opening weekend, it was wet.
Yeah.
We did it. Would you say it was that bad? I don't think it was that bad opening weekend.
Not bad.
It's gotten worse.
Oh, that's great. I mean, the dry path is, I would say, far more scary.
Yes, with the strobes and the. Did you do the
Hmm.
dry path?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I needed to see what the difference was when I went back. So I was like,
Mhm.
oh, I did the wet path. I don't need to do that one again. But let me see the
Yeah.
dry path. And I was like, oh, shoot. Like, I was not expecting that.
The one thing that I love, I have yet to see, and also because I just haven't done this house a whole lot because of the line. The the double ending that if you do the wet path, you get to see Sienna, and then if you do the dry path, you just get to see R. But if you do the wet path, you get to see both if you're lucky
Mm.
and it times out right. Like I said, I know it's there. I've heard it. I saw her. I saw her shadow, and I was like, "Come on, like I want to see you." Um, but yeah, I think art because I know this is a comment of the walk around art. The whole art integration. I think Terrifier is I think my favorite integration of the IP this year. The only thing they did not nail is the food. I'm sorry. The Terrifier food that was not good. I feel like that's probably the worst. A lot of the
Yeah.
worst food I've had at this event is the Terrifier food. The
Yeah.
drink was good.
I mean, Dreamport contest. He heard me just complain nonstop for I don't know how long about that popcorn chicken or popcorn and chicken. Gotta love art. He loves a good joke.
Um, but yeah, the walk around arts, the house, the way art is used this year is just like he is. I think he's the icon. I think he's the icon of Horror Nights 2025 on both
Mm,
coasts. On both
yeah.
coasts. My favorite is walking by the front of the park. He will go up there,
Hmm.
and on the second floor of the VIP building with a
What?
flashlight and just sit there and flash people as they're walking in. And there was one night this lady was not having it. She was
Oh,
like she was doing this. She was like don't come at me. And you know what is he gonna do? He's gonna do it more.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, I love what they're doing with art this year. I feel like it's like so, it's just fun, and it
Yeah.
makes me excited. Hopefully, hopefully we get something like this with Jack. This is what I want.
Yeah.
Jack roaming in the park, not just in an alleyway. Like put him in the park like this. Um, but yeah, love it. We got a couple good art. We've seen him a couple times
Yeah.
doing funny
I
stuff.
mean, it's very comical. What Albert said. Yeah. So it it blew my mind of how many times like we kept making it, we saw him so many times it became a running joke with us where we'd be like, oh, there's art again, there's art again. I'd be like, how many times are we going to see him tonight? And we like kept counting, and it was literally probably like I don't know, 6, 7, 8 times we kept seeing him. And that was on like the lower lot. Like I was just chilling. I'd be like, oh, there's art. Oh,
Yeah,
there's art.
here he is.
I'm like, oh, there he is. Like no one's chasing him, and there he is. He's just walking around.
Yeah, I feel
And
like
the integration of him over on the West Coast being with the actual front scare zone with the clowns. That's crazy
yes,
too, because I was
yes,
not expecting that.
yeah,
So it's really cool how they can use art.
yeah, yeah. I think that's what I talk about when I'm saying like the
Hmm.
full integration. Like he's everywhere.
Hmm.
Did you try the art glasses in Hollywood? Because Hollywood
Sadly, no. We were going to, but we just skipped it.
just skipped it.
Like well, because the thing is, to go and get those, you have to go to where the house
To
is
where the house,
in
yeah, it's over
Curious
there.
George. So literally, once we knock out like Terrifier and skip Poltergeist, we're straight on back to the park. So I did say like, no, I did ask April. I did say like,
Uh
well,
oh.
where are we going to get the cookie? That was the main thing, and we
Uh
said
oh.
no. So we didn't get the cookie because I was going to try one of the drinks, I think, at the thing. I don't know what kind of drinks they had, but then we just didn't. So it's all right. I heard it was better in Hollywood as far as the cookie, but we got the cookie from Orlando.
This is a great question. I wanted to come back to this. The two paths in
Mm,
Terrifier or the two paths in Dueling Dragons? I think I have an answer, but I'm curious
I
to see what your answer
think
is.
it's got to be Terrifier. I mean,
Really?
because I'm trying to think of like I can't remember how the paths in. Oh,
Yeah. I say Dueling Dragons because Terrifier, Wet Path, there's nothing to it. Like outside of the water effect, there's nothing visually there. Dry Path is better in terms of
yeah,
like actually having something going on, but both paths in Dueling Dragons, you had a scare. A scare would come out from one of the characters, and then you would have the ending, and it was a different ending. So if you like, if fire won, ice would lose. If ice won, fire would
yeah,
lose,
you're
and it would be
right.
like,
Yeah,
and it would
yeah,
be,
it's
yeah, I
kind of
believe on
cool.
each set it was different, and I think that was a lot more creative in terms of
Hmm.
like utilizing the space better. Um, but I like the Terrifier build up. Like I like to build
That's
up
what I was going to say.
to the
If they combine the two,
yes,
like that lead up
yes,
of like maybe the wizard being up there and say choose thy fate, you
yeah,
know, such and such, and it lights
yeah.
up or something.
It was a little more epic.
Yes, like I can see if they combine those two the next time around, they
It
decide to do this.
it and I because I love Dueling Dragons. That's like one of my favorite houses. So like I just I love that. I know you love the house too. Like we both really enjoyed that house a lot. But what it's another example of a house that just like you see the dragons there, and then you go in and it's and it's choose your fate, and that's it. And we're ending the house. This is the end. So it's like one of those things of like with Terrifier, you go really smart from the Christmas scene to the original kills, which I do appreciate that they did the new
Hmm.
kills for the. It's nothing crazy. It's stuff that you can already kind of expect from Horror Nights, but it's cool that it's like kind of like here we have art, and I love that each of the different art actors have the different glasses. So one has the sunflower one glasses, one has the little hand glasses, and that leads you then into that finale where it's like it feels like this is kind of the gauntlet of art, although it's not meant to be like Jason Gauntlet, where it's like, hey, we're
Yeah,
just gonna scare. It's like here's scenes before we get into the big moment, and that's like I think the apex of the house. Like I think that's when the house is at its best. Although my favorite section of the house is kind of underrated. The fun house, the first like couple
oh, okay.
scenes with the mirrors and the misdirection, and it's like it's got that like great little ding 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 that little in the background that they play in Hollywood.
Yeah,
That section I think is like it's so playful and it's so fun, and it feels like it is quite literally my favorite part about this house. And I will say the biggest strength of this house, the originality, because they take the kills and they say we're going to do the funhouse thing. We're going to like make it in context of the funhouse. We're
yeah,
not just going to do hey, here's scenes from the movie. We're going to have the characters. The only thing that I think is like kind of a one for one is the clown cafe,
yeah,
which I think that works because it's already supposed to be like a freaky alternate dimension. Like that's supposed to be what the clown cafe is.
yeah.
But I love it. I think it's great. I think it's a great house.
And I will say this: the wet path in Hollywood versus Orlando, drastically different. I hated the dry path in Hollywood. It's it sucked because it's wet, but it's not like water, but it's like misting so much that you're trying to move the tarps or whatever they are. So
Mm,
those are wet. So it's nasty because you're like trying to move
and
those,
everybody's
but then they're
touching
like
it.
touching you. Yeah, it's just like it's just not a
Ugh.
fun. And then also the way like it's so fogged in the mist, you're just trying to like get out of there so you don't really pay attention to the scare actor and you can
Yeah.
barely see them like with the chainsaw in a certain area.
Mm.
So Orlando definitely obviously did it correctly. I mean, the chicken exit part is
That was cool.
cool.
That's cool. I like that.
And the chainsaw Christmas Santa art is awesome, but everything past that scene. I was like, no, no. Oh, and
Huh.
the house attendant
Yeah, that was
art,
cool. I
that
love
was
that.
cool too.
Yeah, that's a great little like egg because so many of the house attendants scare because they do it in Hollywood. They're like, we're gonna have the robes with the hoods
Yeah.
on, and it's like we're gonna make them look like like because with Orlando, sometimes I get scared by them, but also like just because I'm like, oh shoot, you're just a person here. But like they're just wearing regular clothes, so it doesn't
Yeah.
look like anything creepy. But when you put like them house attendants with them robes on, sometimes you're like, oh, is that supposed to be an
Yeah.
actor or
Sometimes they've caught me like in a corner and I'm like,
something?
oh shoot. Yeah,
um,
probably a lot of people. Yeah. I know a lot of Hollywood people have already come over during kind of the earlier part.
yeah, for sure.
It will only get busier from here
That
on
is
out.
that is the truth. I guess you want to do another original. I think we can maybe do like original IP, original IP. We can bounce back.
Should we start with the big original or the
Yeah,
little
let's. We can, no,
original?
we can go with the big one. We can kind
The
of keep
big
the train
one?
going, the hype going. Boom, La Casa Creacion.
Thank you for that translation.
We'll do that'll be the next original.
Yeah, you just translate the whole entire house.
No,
Um,
but yes.
this
So
this facade, man.
wait, hold on, one more time.
Yeah,
Yeah, come on. There's not really anything you can say about it beyond um just it's big and
mm,
it's dynamic. It's dynamic. The only thing that I wish that I would have loved to see, and I'm sure you probably agree with me on this, I wish we had ghosts like how we had in Hill House. That would
yes,
be like I think the
yeah,
icing on the cake. And it's a great facade. Don't get me wrong, but that would be like my one change. That if you ask me, what's my one change to this house that I would do? Ghost projections in the
ghost,
facade where
ghost.
they're
Yes,
just kind of
I want to
wandering.
feel like they're just
They're just
in
there.
the corners, like in hallways where you're not even. It's not supposed to be like a scare, but you just maybe like behind the actor. There's just
Yeah.
like these ghosts like walking around, and you're like,
Which
you want to feel like, like they're everywhere.
and they do. Like that's why I will say in the house there are so many little things of like it does kind of have that Hill House quality where there are ghosts around and it's like hard to see them because you have to really be looking.
Hmm.
There's one effect that I love so much, and it is in the first scene where he's in that little section and there are ghosts in the windows and there's a ghost underneath the ground. Like there's a
Ooh,
ghost like
okay.
banging on the floor almost. And it's like a quick like blinking you miss it moment. Um but yeah, so this is a kind of a segue comment. So they said they were going to burst in the painting. They're not necessarily bursting. There is a hand because if you go in the first scene, you will see a hand kind of moving, kind of like Exorcist style, where the hand is
Okay.
moving through the canvas. But I don't think it is bursting from anything. Unfortunately, I wish we had a little more of that.
And I
That
feel like
happened.
this is the house that you have to do multiple runs. You just can't do the one run and been like, it was okay or it was mind blowing. Because I feel like you really do have to digest this house. And for me, I've only done it twice,
Yeah,
only twice.
yeah,
And it was the first time was like, I was wild. The second time I was like, I still have that reserve feeling about this. So maybe I just want to see if it lines up. But I feel like hearing these things, I'm like, man, I want to go back in it. I want to go back
yes,
in this house again
yes,
to see if there's more stuff I notice. I still have some problems with the house overall. It's more like the storytelling aspect. And you can attest to this because you did the tour that you learn so much more to this house than just kind of face value. If you just go in, you're like, oh, if you don't know anything, you're like, who's this guy? He's painting. It's a bunch of gargoyles and stuff that's happening. It's a very confusing house.
yeah.
Like the stuff you were telling me, I was like, I couldn't follow
You
that through the house if I
it,
didn't know.
and it's not in a podcast. It's not like the podcast for this house gives you kind of it's more of a general podcast for the event versus like the house itself. But yeah, there's a really deep story, deep lore. I'm working on a video, the history lore video. I know People have been asking me about it. I'm trying to get the script right because it is such an interesting story, and it's like it's easy to get bogged down in the what, and then this happened, and, and I'm trying to like word it in a way that feels just like eerie. So it is. It's coming along just because everything, and I think also writing the script for this video has gotten me to fall in love with this house more. And I keep going back and forth. I'm like, is this my favorite original this year? Because I love
Mm.
another one, but this one has something because it's like it's just this like moment story. I love stories. This is for
Mm.
movies, haunted houses, media, stories that take place in one night or like one day. And that's kind of what this is. This is a haunting. This is the apex. This is when all the ghosts that are living in this house have like fully taken over his head and are
Mm.
running
The
rampant.
madness that he is
Yes.
going through.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I wish the one thing that I do wish this house did a little more was I wish it was a little more surreal where like you think about a house like and this is going to be a very weird comparison, but like The In Between or Afterlife, which is like meant to
Mm.
be like a descent into madness a little bit. It's like I wish we got a little more of that in this house where we got to see cuz he I love Sergio. Sergio disappears for a majority of the
He
house.
does. You
He's there in the
literally see
beginning,
him, and then you're like,
and then
"Where's
you
the
don't
other
see
guy?
him
Where's the guy?"
we're at the end of the house because this is the most important piece. For those who
Mm.
know, you know. For those who don't, video coming soon. But these four are the ones who really take over the story, and the second third of the house is basically telling you in these little details
Hmm.
what's really going on. And there's this great and what I love because I love The Darkest Deal. And The Darkest Deal had a very strong story. It felt like it was almost like a movie, like where it's like you follow it from beginning to end. Yes, and also that one too. That's definitely one that came to mind with that. But the second half of the second third of this house literally is like a twist reveal. Like
Mm.
there's a twist reveal in my favorite section of this house, which I do not have any photos of, unfortunately. It is this courtyard, and
Oh.
that's where it all comes
Mm.
to a head. That's where
Yeah.
the whole thing comes to a head. And then at that point, Sergio comes back into the picture and he's like, "Hey, remember I'm here." And it's just like such a great the story I think is so wonderful. And
Mm.
I wish like that. I wish we like the podcast was a little more relevant to it so that somebody could you don't have to take the tour
Yeah.
to fully appreciate the story of this house, which is kind of how I feel.
I wish they
Um
had shot like a short
yes.
video of like
Yeah.
they can film in the house themselves and do
Yeah.
like a really great production of Sergio doing the painting, and then maybe you're hearing the story, and
Mhm.
then just slow shots throughout the house. I wish they did that.
Yeah. But I will say this scene, this had my jaw on the floor the first time. The
Mm-hmm.
flying gargoyle here in the
Mm-hmm.
conservatory. For the conservatory being the big thing that this event, the whole basically this is the theme of the event, right?
Yeah.
I felt like it was an interesting choice how they laid it out. It's not a crazy effect, but it's like whenever I see it, I'm like, yeah, this is like fucking cool. Like, yeah, it's a dude flying around. Like, yeah, of course, like that's gonna be cool. It's just like the bungee thing from Monsters, where it's like, yeah,
Yeah.
it's a bungee. It's awesome. You have somebody, and it's obviously um, very taxing for those actors. So it's like it takes a lot of effort.
I bet.
So I appreciate it when they do that. Yeah, Deadman's Pier, exactly. Another example of that, where it's like they have a story that's a whole nother thing, or Blood Moon. Blood Moon,
Yeah.
the story is a whole nother thing to the actual house and the actual story that's told within the haunted house. And I feel like that's such a weird choice because all three of these are meant to be story based.
Story driven. Yeah.
But the one that I will say that did it well was Darkest Deal because the story of the podcast was like a
Mm-hmm.
prequel. It set you up for as soon as you can listen to the podcast in the queue for the house and be put at the end of that podcast, you're right at the front of the house. That's your exact setup
Mm.
for what you need going in. So there are details that you see in the house that you can take in from there. and that you're like, oh, I listen to podcasts, I know this.
That's true. I
But
didn't think
I
about
just,
that.
I don't know. I have a lot of thoughts on this house. Where like, I think I need a couple more times, but it's growing on me a lot.
It
At first, I
could
loved it.
could you see by the end that it would slide anywhere on your rankings?
I could see it being in the top three. My top two are my top two. I don't think anything's going to touch the top two, but the top three, 3 through 5, all kind of move in flux. My top
Mhm.
3 through 5, which Terrifier's in there, this is in there, another original's in there. Those slide around, but I could see this being in my top three by the end. I think so. But I think we both need another like few runs in this house, like just to kind of
Yeah, I
soak up
definitely.
the
I
soak
will
it up.
admit that. I think, you know, what's interesting about us being frequent fear and visiting so much, you we're now at that point where you start seeing houses where you're like, I enjoy this house. These
Hmm.
houses I need to maybe get a few more runs. These houses I'm pretty much good on. Like I don't really have to go back in them unless I'm with a group or unless it's like 10-minute wait or something. It's very interesting of like how that dynamic changes, and we have people that are just going to the event for the first time. Like this, when it starts back up, they're like, hey, I'm brand new to this. Like I haven't been to these houses. So it's very interesting like how our mindset is versus people that are just now coming to the event. And now we can tell people, well, these is what I think about this house, and I think you should do a couple runs in these houses more if you're going back to the event. And one that I think we are both good on
Oh, let's go
is your
back.
favorite.
Let's talk about it. Grave of Flesh.
We were not sold on this during the initial announcement. I think I was not sold. I don't think you were sold too much because that little teaser they put on TikTok painted it with such a punk rock, like I didn't know if we were going to get like this 80s Return of the Living Dead type of house.
Hmm.
And this is what we got. Facade is great. I will say that.
Facade is excellent.
Yes.
Excellent facade for sure.
Beyond that,
Okay.
it's very, it's, I feel like people who say like this, and they say they enjoyed it, is because they walked in and they were like, they got scares and they were like, oh, that was a great house. That's why I came to Halloween Horror Nights for, is I got some spooks, some scares. That was a great house. But okay, so what was the house about? I don't know. It was just a bunch of things jumping out at me. That's it. Like that's that's what you gathered from that house.
The thing that frustrates me about Grave of Flesh is that it's a cool design house. Like
Hmm.
the sets are cool. It gets really trippy near the middle and like really surreal and weird, especially with the lighting where it's all like UV bioluminescent,
Hmm.
and it like gets like this very like strange, and then it goes completely like alien planet. I'm like, so like there's a lot of interesting things happening here. I think it's a combination of it doesn't really feel like it any of it gels. I think it's trying to do a few different things that none of them really agree with each other, and that's not really anybody's fault, but it's just like these ideas just don't mesh, like they just don't gel. But also, my biggest issue with this house that I've noticed is that it feels so understaffed all the time.
Mm.
Where I'm like going through and I'm like, I've had just nothing but bad runs on this house, and except for my first time. The first time was pretty solid, where I came out going, okay, Grave of Flesh, not bad, And I don't think it's a terrible house. I
No.
just think it if they had a few more scare actors, I think they could at least succeed on the scare factor, giving me what kind of Descendants of Destruction gave me. I didn't love Descendants of Destruction, but like the sets were cool and I got some good scares in there. I think it was a perfectly solid, fine house. Grave of Flesh, I feel like there's just that factor missing where like it's trying to be a few different things. The monsters don't really scare me, really. The actual creatures don't do anything for me. And then I really like the first part of the house with the corpses, like very poltergeist esque, very zombie esque. I think that's cool.
Yeah.
And I think it's very visceral. It's meant to be this sort of exploration of what happens when you die. And that's a very like, you could take that a million different ways. And I just think they tried to take it in too many different directions to where it felt like it was just kind of jammed together. And I wish again we had um, a little more characters. That's I think my biggest thing with it. I think it has potential, but at this point in the season, will we see a lot of improvements to it? I don't think so.
No.
Unfortunately, as much as I would love to see this house turn around and be a house that I really love, and I could see where people might come out of this going, it's kind of underrated, overlooked. I could see it, but for me, it's the only house this year that I'm just kind of like, whatever.
And
Everything else, I think I love.
I do agree, and I know we both talked about this, was that it didn't need to be in a soundstage, or it feels like it is too big almost, or too small for that space. Like it's just it's weird. Like if you put it in a tent house, you make it very claustrophobic. It's very tight. You feel like you're underground instead of needing that big gigantic room that you're half of the queue is in the same
Yeah,
sense. Like it's
yeah,
weird.
which is weird, which is very weird because you could hear it from the queue. You literally could see the exit of the house when you're in the line. It's like very strange. It is very odd,
Hmm.
and I kind of wish. And this is me being selfish, but I also think it would have worked better. I wish Fallout had gotten this space instead, and Grave of Flesh had
Selfish.
gone back to that. No, because I think that tent would have been the perfect size for it. You could have put that
Okay,
facade.
yeah,
The
yeah,
facade could have probably fit in there. I could see the facade mostly, or a smaller version of it slightly, but the rest of it, I think, cut the fat. Let's really go deep in the tunnels, and let's do like I really love the section where it's still tunnels, but it's
hmm,
that like psychedelic, like that UV,
oh yeah,
very
yeah,
trippy, like surreal style. Like that's what I was like, damn, this is cool. And it does kind of give me that like feel of like an 80s, 90s kind of haunted house. It has that kind of vibe to it. But then they jump into where they have this like MC Escher endless hallway with one actor in this giant room. And I'm like, why? Why is this the direction we're going? We were set up really for something kind of crazy with this flashing dead exposure type of strobes, and I don't know, man.
am am I wrong? Is that there's no victims, right? Like there's
No,
no human characters. It's just from the get go, like past
it's
the facade. It's just like
there are spirits,
creatures, spirits.
spirits.
Okay,
Yeah, because there's the one girl that says you'll never leave. It's like
okay,
that spirits mixing in with the corpses, mixing in with like the actual flesh monsters, mixing in with whatever the hell is going on in that middle section. I have no clue what this alien thing standing on that stage is. Like, I have no clue what the hell that is.
yeah. I was gonna say we learned nothing from the tour as far as like.
I,
I
I,
mean,
we
we
did,
got the gist of the house,
yeah.
but the continued story of like,
Even, and I think the podcast, going back to the podcast, it sets up an interesting question because what it does is it sets up this idea that the groundskeepers know, and they're like, don't fall in the hole, like don't fall in the grave because they're gonna come and get you. And so I would have loved to see that story play out from the guy in the beginning. Maybe we see him at the end
later,
dead, or
yeah,
we hear his voice throughout, like kind of echoing as you're like trying to find a way out, and then you can't because you're dead.
yeah.
I think that is like such like that would have been I think such an interesting take of it. But yeah, I think that the deeper we go, the trippier it gets. Definitely see that, but I think then why then do we end in just more dirt and more mounds, like at tail end of the house, where it's like, oh, we're just gonna have monsters and it's gonna be the same kind of look as we started with, versus maybe
Yeah,
taking it a different direction.
evolving. Yeah.
That's what I liked about Descendants, where like Descendants started and ended in two completely different places.
It's true. Yeah.
Um, I
Once you
think
went, yeah.
I think there's suffocation. Is that what it is? I'm not sure. I mean, I guess I can make this with all the curtains and stuff. But that's what I'm saying. That wasn't super clear to me, and I didn't see that. And that's an interesting read of it. I think the way this house is meant to be, it's meant to be like an interpretation thing. Like if you read it as one
However you
way
see it. Yeah.
versus the other thing, and I just didn't get it. It just didn't. It's not that I didn't get it. It just doesn't gel with me. It's just I just don't love it. And I've tried. I've given it multiple chances. I've tried to be like, no, Grave of Flesh, come on, baby, give me something. But I guess now would be a good time to go from a house that we don't really like so much to one that we both love, one that we both consider favorites. I know a lot of you guys would consider a favorite too. Let's talk about Bray.
That is, I'm gonna have nightmares tonight looking at.
That's such a great little moment because it's just a mask there. There's nothing. There's no actor. At first, when I saw it, I was like, "Oh, is that going to be an actor? Is that like a dude back there?" Nope, it's just a mask.
Every time I see it, when I walk in that
awesome.
room.
So WWE, the horrors of the Wyatt Six. I'd argue one of the best houses this year, easy. One of my favorite house. This is in my top two.
Yeah.
Of like house that it's not moving. This gets my silver trophy personally.
Oh yeah.
And I love it. It's great.
But why are they doing like wrestling at a horror event? I don't get it. I don't get it.
Go with the vibes, man. Let Mike cook. Mike and Ramon, let them cook. Is it too loud? Is the air horn too loud? Well, too bad. I think I turned it down.
There we go.
There we go. I think that's a safe volume. Anyway, so Wyatt Six.
Oh man,
we did this. Did we do this solo on premium as well?
I feel like we did.
I think we did because we went in and I don't know if you have the clip, but you sent me the clip earlier. Empty queue.
Oh yeah.
We went in with nobody in the queue. It was just us. Yep. We just walked up. I think we did that after. No, we did FNAF Terrifier, went back to FNAF, and then I think did Wyatt Six. So we did Wyatt Six.
I was not expecting so much to be in this house. I was not expecting it to be the way it was designed, the scares more so importantly. They're like, oh, you want scares? Like we're gonna take it there. We're gonna go some places that you were not expecting.
Yeah. And it's gonna be big scare actors, scary. They get in your face. It's like it's the threat of these characters. It makes them feel like it's intense, but in a great way. And I think we talked about. I'd say I think Terrifier is still probably my favorite ending, but I think the ending of this house is wonderful. I think it's a great tribute. I think it has that great quotes and that. But I think I kind of agree with Coasterthon. I think the TV scare. I think that's the best scare this year. My favorite, the room where TVs and then Howdy and the Fiend come out from either side.
Oh, okay. The
middle section before you go into the dimension.
Yeah. The one where you're just like looking at all the clips and you're like, oh, there's Undertaker. There's
and then they jump out.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
They do a fantastic job. I've gotten multiple times in this house. Have gotten me.
Gotta clap it up for that. That's an excellent room.
And I do love the way the characters interact, or they really will kind of give you some extra like looks and scares if you're like calling out their names. Like if you're calling out the characters and you're like loving it,
oh yeah,
they will react.
I've heard of people yeeting with Huskus. I've heard of people. I was in one time where Ramblin' Rabbit, in his room, he sat there and watched me as I walked up, and then he hit the trigger again to spray me with the water. Um, he just sat there as I was coming down the room. Um, and then yeah, I love that Huskus has like 3 or 4 different triggers. Like he has the main trigger, which jumps up, but then he grabs on the thing, bangs on the wall on the bars. Um, I love the Firefly. There was one Firefly who was like waving at me, like, "Yo, yeah, I love it. I love it. Love you guys. Love the White Six. This house." Yeah, and I think this is a great example of you don't have to be a fan of WWE. You don't have to be a fan of the White Six. I took people in here who have never seen any of the White Six. They just watched the Q video, went in the house, and they were like, "This is awesome." And also, the Q video,
Ooh,
the Q video.
they cooked.
This is a chef's kiss.
It wasn't
video.
Just Peacock advertisement, Blumhouse trailers.
No,
It's like no.
You ain't gonna see Sinister in here. This is not a Megan 2 trailer for Blu-ray. No, you're gonna get full stuff that's been released, stuff that hasn't been released, unique stuff, great like one-liners that you hear that I still am hearing in my head as I'm sitting in that queue.
Goosebumps.
And yes, so I'm not sure which one you're talking about. There's 2 of them. The one of them I believe was from Texas Chainsaw Massacre. That one does not move. That one is just static, but the other one is an animatronic. The other one's an animatronic that does move. The one like hog, the more hog looking one.
Oh yeah. That one did move. Yeah.
But the actual pig has not moved since. It hasn't moved the whole time. I haven't seen it. The theme song score 100 times
It's 100% better than the Slash one.
Yeah, I mean that I feel like it is kind of apples to oranges, but also what they do with the shatter, with those notes as you're walking in, as you're in the house, as it changes. What they do when they throw in the other Bray Wyatt theme song in there towards the end. Yeah, I think it's great. I think music wise, audio wise, it really blends it together. Firefly Funhouse.
And I will say on both coasts, this house was good. I mean, Orlando, I still love the Orlando version more, but Hollywood was just as good. And that's surprising. I've never been in a Jurassic Park Q house.
Oh, yeah.
But they did really good on their casting, the way the characters look. I will say thank you, John Murdy, and you know how much I dislike you for putting that smell in Huskus' room.
Oh yeah,
because it's probably the worst smell I think in any of the houses this year for me. It was. Oh yeah. Terrifier did not smell bad to me, but the Huskus room was bad. It was
smell like.
It's hard to say. It just smelled like what you imagine like pigs and dirt and like pig meat. It just smelled so gross.
Is it worse than Hatchet and Chains?
Oh shoot! Oh man, it is very close to that smell. So that smell, that's what I was smelling over there. Yeah.
Well, at least it's not in the whole house. Like Hatchet and Chains. We'll talk about that in a bit. I watched the doc before going. I still need to see that documentary. I think I'm going to watch it.
I don't think I can. I literally don't want to be in tears.
Yeah.
And then going back into the house and being in tears, and all the scare actors are going to be like, "What the hell is wrong with this guy?"
No, they'll know. They'll be like, "Yeah, we understand. We watched it too." They'll say, "Oh, that guy watched it. That guy watched it."
I told April not to watch it, and she watched it, and she was like. Yeah, she was like in tears of like, yeah, this not a good idea. But yeah, I know enough because like I watched wrestling before when it was the original Firefly. So like I've already have that at least some background context. Yeah.
Yeah. What a good house. The fun house. This is one of my favorite scenes of the house for sure. Getting to go inside of the funhouse and having all the props be pretty much like pretty damn accurate to what they look like in the show.
Even the casting of the character that stands next to TV,
Alexa Bliss.
Alexa Bliss. She surprisingly looks like her. Like sometimes I do a double take. I'm like, is it?
Well, she was there one
Yeah,
night.
she
They
was.
did. They did have Alexa Bliss in the house one night for a scary,
That
which
is
is
really
very
cool.
cool. Very cool. And I would love if eventually they can maybe get some of the other actual White Six members to do it. I think that'd be awesome. But um, I'm sure that's plenty of contracts. So many contracts. Um, I think that's the thing is like I think this is the biggest reason with this house. Like I think
Mm,
like he wanted this. Like that's the thing is he's been I want to do a house with Horror Nights. Obviously the whole team has been involved. Ramon and Mike being such big fans and also like so many Easter eggs. Like just Easter eggs to that like that TV hallway, just all of the screens,
yeah.
different clips from all the different eras. There's that one room,
The
I don't have a picture of it, but
yep.
it's all a bunch of props like
The
Undertaker's
Money in the
urn,
Bank.
Money in the Bank, Kane's mask, the
Mm-hmm.
Stone Cold cans, all that stuff. I know they had the Rock's glasses in the first room on the table.
Oh, what?
I think they added that later on. But yeah, like
That's
so
what I
many like
love is that it's like if you
Easter
were
eggs.
into that world, like our good buddy Losh, all that stuff is just it's like all
Yeah,
that
you can eat
stuff
it
was
up.
there for him.
Yeah,
And but if you didn't need to see that stuff. Like the
yeah,
stuff is just there, but like it adds so much context if you're a fan, and if you're not, you can still enjoy the house.
still
Like you
enjoy
don't
it.
have to. Um,
It's what I said, and I said this is a weird comparison, but I think it's like triplets if triplets was better. It has that vibe. I don't know if it's because there's a bunny character in there and there's a big dude with, you know, big guy with a knife or whatever,
ouch.
but no, I like triplets. But I mean, like I think it has that kind of hillbilly esque House of a Thousand Corpses
Hmm.
kind of vibe, but it's different. It's different enough.
Yeah.
And I think this scene in the um in the cabin with this
Oh
new character,
yes.
unique character design for the event, which
Hmm.
is awesome. I love that they did this because it's like a representation of the Firefly fan base because like they're wearing the shirts, they have the
Mm.
like patches on the jacket of like the Wyatt logos and
See,
stuff like that.
I never got that. That's so
Yeah,
cool.
they're meant to be a manifestation of like the fans, like the the family,
Oh yeah.
and so that's why like I think that's such a great little extra detail. But even like in the Ramblin' Rabbit scene, there are those like Mad Hatter, like Mad Tea Party kind of
Yes.
characters. They have in the Abbey the Witch, there's another character that's holding this like branch that's shaped like the logo, the symbol. It's like that's a part of it too. Is like the original quality of this house where it's like, yes, it's has the characters, but also has so much original stuff that if you're a fan, you can go, oh my god, like this is new stuff. But if you're a
Yes.
non-fan, you're like, this is really cool looking.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, no, it's great. It's great. Excellent house. One of the big takeaways I think this year, especially in Orlando. Hollywood, though, I will say from what I've seen from Hollywood, it looked pretty good. It looked
Hmm.
pretty good.
Considering, people were giving Murdy slack, they were like, man, Murdy's not going to do this good. He doesn't know wrestling.
Yeah,
And I don't know if he had help because, Ramon kind of
sure.
maybe, helped him
Mike
out
went
a
out
little bit.
there.
But,
Mike and
Mike was
him,
out there maybe giving him a
they
few
were there like,
pointers.
here's some information. Let's watch the documentary.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's great.
We're here.
We're here. That's right, baby. Let's I guess now talk about the big one, the one that has
Oh,
the big push that I don't have pictures for. Let's talk about this guy right here. Let's talk about the bear. The bear, the bear, the bear.
the
Five
bear.
Nights at Freddy's, the most popular. Yes, it's the most popular house to see it, right? I would say
I would
opens
say so.
at capacity every day, 3 hour line every day. Um, the big draw for so many people coming to this event. Five Nights at Freddy's is it's I think it's pretty good. I think it's pretty good. Um, Hollywood probably won't be a whole lot to talk about because it's basically the same house, barring that one big change that everybody loves so much with the
What's that?
first room, with the one guy who's on the stage.
Oh,
Um, but Hollywood, otherwise, it's pretty much the exact same house. From my understanding, would I be correct on that? Because it looks like pretty much the
Um,
exact, like for the most part, the same house,
for them, yes, like design wise, for the most
like
part,
95% the same.
it April can attest to this too. It's pretty much the same beat for beat, same first room, same everything. There are little touches here and there that I think are different. The way they move their puppets are a little bit different. They're more
Okay.
aggressive, especially Springtrap in the end. Holy crap. The one in Hollywood, he literally got like super close to Diego with the knife. So that was like really, he was like, oh, he's probably going to stop there. And he like came way out. That and the child actors wear masks over there.
Yes.
So it
Yes.
looks creepy, but also the longer you're staring at them, you're like, oh, it's a mask. Like it's weird.
What? Trying to think of what house they used that in, because I those masks look familiar from something,
Hmm.
but I don't know what. I'm trying to think of what. Hold on. Whoa. Messing with the aspect ratio. Now I'm gone.
My bad.
What is happening here?
I
There we
try
go.
to-
Well, just here. I'll lean over. There you go. Well, my mic is over here, so I can't do that. But if Hollywood people, if you know where those masks came from, because it's um Trick or Treat. I'm trying to think, because in Orlando it's face actors, which I think works better.
Mm,
The talent is so much different than Hollywood, because I
mm,
noticed this with Lila. It's hard to make them look like a small child. Like,
yes.
like it's hard to get actors that look like that way.
Obviously.
Orlando has
Yeah.
done this before with Major Suites, with Stranger Things. They when they did it the first time and everything like that. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about the mask, but I like. I mean, puppets are great. Um, yeah, big question. I guess is what we're kind of talking about. Who did it better? I mean, I say like in general, it might it might be Orlando just because of the big set piece. Like that's just such a great moment. But also, like April saying, it's like it is the more intense scare actors, which if you're going into a house like this that is not really that scary, this is not Monstros, this is not Scarecrow, this is not Jason, this is not meant to be a super scary house. It's meant to be a good entry level house. I
Hmm.
think it's pretty good. I think it's pretty solid. And I think I get the feeling with this that almost with the first Stranger Things, where a lot of it is like, oh look, it's that thing from the movie. Oh look, it's that thing from the movie. Oh look, it's that thing from the series. Oh it's the Fazbear pizza, and it's like this kind of phenomenon that you only get one time, because when they do this again, because I know there's
Yeah.
the comments, they're going to do it again, right?
Yeah.
It's going to be compared to this one. People are going to say, oh, Five Nights at Freddy's, when they did it for the second time, it wasn't as good, or maybe it was better than this one. And that's what Stranger Things, that's where we're at with Stranger Things, where like everything keeps going back to that first Stranger Things house, where like, or when Stranger Things first came to the event, when they did it, they did that daytime walkthrough. They had the waffles. That was like really, I think, kind of the turning point for HHN food. Kind of started with Stranger Things when they
Oh
started integrating that.
yeah. You're right.
So the merch, the tribute store, like the turning point for modern HHN really does start with Stranger Things for a lot of what we know from modern HHN. And I think that's going to be one of those things that we're going to look at in the future. Like, okay, because looking at, okay, prime example, who's to say they don't transform Louise again and do another
Mm,
experience with something else? Maybe not with an IP, or maybe with an IP, right? Maybe they do a Stranger Things in Louise. They turn that into the Surfer Pizza. Let's say they make it its own little location, and that then becomes a thing where we're using Louise for food, or like the way like it just makes me think about just how much, like how big this property is, and how I think it really is going to be kind of set the tone going forward. uh
that's
so
true. An interesting point is from the trailer with the second one. It starts off very terrifying with that,
Hmm.
like the found footage stuff. I definitely can see where people said, "Oh, this house is cute. It's not really scary." They can up things for the second one because by then, people are used to kind of the houses that went the first time.
Yeah.
They can still play off some of the nostalgic stuff that we're going to see. But I feel like that second one is definitely a scarier movie.
Hmm.
And there's lots of stuff that, Diego was explaining about like the lore and a lot of stuff like from the
Hmm.
second trailer. And I was like, wow, I was just blown with how much more stuff. So I could definitely see the second one being a bigger house. Whereas this one, it was all set in just the one restaurant,
Sure.
We can go bigger places in the second one. So
Yeah.
I love that. The whole like you
Hmm.
see is like eye peeking and then just the way like they're like I love that.
Yeah. I think like, oh, so yeah, okay. I can see what
Yeah.
you're saying about the movement. It's a
Yeah.
little more
They're way more like, oh, we're
dramatic.
gonna we're gonna make these puppets like it's almost hit you almost.
The one thing that I will say, and I'm sure it'll come up in the video, I haven't been since they added the moving Foxy in Orlando. In Hollywood,
Okay.
they've had it since the beginning.
Yeah.
And then also the cupcake that flies. That was not working for many, many weeks here in Orlando.
Okay.
So I haven't been. So maybe that's this cupcake that's hanging on this wire that's flying around. I haven't seen. I haven't seen this effect
It's
in
really
person.
cool
Um,
when you catch it at the right
yeah, of
time.
course, you could kind of see it in the video a little bit. But yeah, so it's like one of those things of like the Foxy animatronic, from my understanding, it works now, and the cupcake
Okay.
flies now, from my
Okay.
understanding, in Orlando. So I have to do
Yeah.
it again. I think this house, I did this a lot in like the first couple weeks, and I think like I need to give it another go. It's just always
It's just hard to
ridiculous
do it.
line.
Like
Yeah.
with planning, like, because if you do stay in Scream, you're like, so do I do the houses in the back like Fallout Gawkin, or do I just try to go straight for Terrifier, Five Nights, Wyatt Six, and El Artista? It's that
I
toss up.
I think Five Nights at Freddy's also has the issue of, because of the soundstage, I don't think they can. I think they have to kind of overinflate the wait times, because a soundstage ain't very big.
Yeah.
So if they said, "Oh, it's only 45 minutes," when really it's 45 minutes, then yeah, everybody's gonna flood it, and then that's when it's hitting capacity more often. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not in ops,
Yeah,
so I
I
don't
did
know.
see that the other day saying at capacity. I was like, what?
At capacity, it just means it's a 3 hour line and the soundstage is full.
Oh, and
Because
then
once
they
the
can't
soundstage is
fit no
full, they
more.
can't put any more
See?
people.
He almost punched
Oh,
me.
he's boxing.
He's like, yeah. He's like,
That's my favorite. That's my favorite scare in the whole house, is that walking Freddy that literally boom, 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 and then swipes at you. I think they swipe more. Like they feel a little in Orlando. I feel like they feel more true to how the animatronics move. But in Hollywood, it works better. Like I think
yeah.
it's scarier that way. Although I love this Foxy too. Like, man.
And another thing that I love about the Hollywood version, Orlando version, the way the line is set up, you don't really, like you said, it's weird the way you go into the soundstage
Oh
and
yeah,
then
you
you
don't
turn
get
the
to see the
corner.
facade.
In
You don't get to see.
Hollywood, as soon as you walk into that soundstage, you're seeing the facade.
Yeah.
And there is cool audio they do play with the building kind of coming alive. It
Oh.
is really cool because it's two audio like you're hearing basically two separate audio things. One
Mhm.
is Matthew Lillard's character talking about the place, the job and stuff, and then the other one is I think it's the cop character talking to what's the main guy, Mike,
Mike.
and explain about like, oh, this used to be like a thing back in the such and such, and they shut it down because, and then that's when the building starts lighting up.
Mhm.
But then they don't know how to do sound design in the queue because you're hearing that, but you're also hearing the house noises because your queue
Mm.
is right next to it. And I swear, our whole time of waiting there, I kept hearing the song that they play with the Five Nights at Freddy's.
They play that in there?
They play it in there. Like you can
Oh,
hear
come
that whole song
on.
because I asked Diego,
Oh,
like, what
no, it
is this
doesn't.
song? Like, what is this? And he explained the whole thing of like
What?
who made the song, like how to get into
Yeah.
the movie. So you can hear that, but you also hear Foxy's humming, and I love
Yes.
hearing his humming, and it just
Yes.
kept going over and over, and you would hear the that scene, I guess, is like right on the other side of the
Yeah.
wall. But it was cool just hearing all those different sound effects and the noises and the humming especially. But yeah, they do play that song. Oh, what Orlando doesn't?
Orlando. No, they don't.
They don't even play
I
it in the Louis.
Mm-mm. They don't
Oh,
play. Well, Louis. Okay, so they did change Louis recently, where they
mm-hmm.
added new lighting, and they played the soundtrack. I think they play like the score, and they also play the "Talking in Your Sleep" song. I heard it in there. It's hard because it's so loud in there. It's hard to really hear anything.
Okay, yeah, because it's
But
just a bunch of noise of everyone talking and eating and all the
yeah.
ambience. Yeah.
It's just the sounds of the place.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure when you go in early, and I might do this where I go in either really early or right as it's about to close, and just get that like the actual feel of what that restaurant's supposed to be like. Um, but yeah, I think yeah, I'm like, oh, man, the house is
Oh, are you
that's
mad that they don't play the Five
no, no,
Nights
no,
at
no,
Freddy's?
because so I don't want what I would have loved, and the one thing that
That should have
I
been
think,
played at the end of the house when you're walking
well,
out.
that's what
But
everybody said, almost like Ghostbusters, where they played the Ghostbusters theme.
mm-hmm.
But I think what would have been great, and this has always been like something that I always envisioned, especially with the movie, I would have loved to have seen the final scare. And I don't know, maybe they do this. I don't know. I haven't really heard it. But with Matthew Little's character, if he were to say, "I always come back," because that's his line from the game.
Oh
That's his iconic
yes,
line,
yes,
and that's the last thing you hear as you leave the house because he's the main. He's kind of like the
yeah.
main villain of the series. Or
Didn't
if
he
they had,
say? Did he say it in the movie? Right?
yes, he said it in the movie.
Okay. Yeah.
He said it in the movie before they spring locked him.
Mm.
And what I will say with that would have been great if we would have hit um as you turn the corner and leave the soundstage, you hear the doom 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 and it hits the 6 a.m.
Oh,
That would have
oh,
been such a crazy,
oh
it's
man, that
more
would
of
have
a
been
game thing than a movie thing,
cool.
but it's like you
The
survived. Like
last
you made it
room
to the end.
is that security.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that would have
that's
been
the
awesome.
end when you
Yeah, Horror
make it
Nights,
through a night.
they're always known for doing that back in the day where you start in the same room that you like like you start in the room, but then you end the house in that same room, or it's like
Yeah.
a disheveled version of that room. But
Yeah.
yeah, that would have been awesome.
But I think like in general the house is great. I gotta do the house again. Watching that video made me like, damn, I gotta do
See?
Five Nights again.
Yeah.
Maybe it is a little low in my rankings.
All
Maybe
right.
it'll bump up. That's the thing with all these houses is like even the houses that are low, I'm like, I love these out. Like
Yeah.
all the houses, all the IPs especially, I love all of them. Like I think all of them
I,
are excellent in their own way, in their own
mhm.
feel. They all feel very different from one another. Terrifier doesn't feel like Jason. FNAF
Yes.
doesn't feel like Fallout. WWE doesn't feel like anything. And I think
Yeah,
that's
none
like
of the
such a
houses
cool.
feel like
Okay, we're
where
doing.
yeah, it doesn't feel like you going into a house and you're like, "Oh, I can see like this house is cheap or they threw this together last minute."
I will say I know we both love the museum, but there's that scene in the museum where they basically just reuse the goblins from Goblin's Feast Next Door,
Yeah,
and I'm
they're
like,
like, "Hey,
come
you're the
on,
extra goblin. You get
yeah,
over here."
yeah. I'm like, come on, like that's I don't feel that way with any of the houses where
Mm-mm.
like I feel like everything is just good. Like I feel like everything is good. I think minus Graver Flush, everything is really good. Sorry, I enjoy Graver Flush is fine. Um, the lore gets weird. That's the thing is the lore gets it
Yeah,
gets so
it's
convoluted. Um,
way out there.
also, this is we did kind of talk about this about the Alexa Bliss. So my understanding is they did film and they took photos in the house. I'm guessing maybe at some point, maybe towards the end
Maybe
of
I
the
did
season.
see her.
Maybe for Halloween. Maybe for Halloween they dropped that and they're like, "Happy Halloween!" You know, she's in the house. She
Mm,
was in the house a few weeks ago. You know, whatever. But
only on Peacock or
only in PK.
ESPN or whichever if you have
Or yeah.
a Hulu subscription.
um. Well, I guess let's talk about another house that we both really enjoy. That I know you really enjoy. I can hear I can hear the drumming now. Galkin.
Yes. Praise to Mother and the Wolf. Yes. I'm ready to sacrifice myself to the Galkin. We be Galkin.
That's awesome. I'm glad. Please clip this. Like that should be that'll be in the next Zombie Chris year recap.
Yep.
Um,
I'm ready to
man,
just say my
Galkin.
goodbyes and say, Mother, I praise you.
Oh man, Galkin, what kind of the unexpected house this year? Like the house that I think kind of came out of nowhere, and everybody kind of went, "Hold up, they're kind of cooking here. They're kind of cooking with this."
Mm.
I know we came out of that house doing that. My first time, your first time.
No, no, Queso.
No, 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 no.
You're breaking my heart, man.
Uh,
No.
I can see that. That's the thing that I do see about this house is that Galkin, there's a lot of people that are loving it. There are a lot of people that are like, it's fine.
Mm.
For
Do,
me,
do you feel this is the same for Blood Moon? Where was it like that? Do you feel like it's the same kind of audience where a lot of people are like, it was great or it was overrated?
no. I feel like
No.
more people enjoyed Blood Moon than didn't. I feel like more people came out of Blood Moon going, that was one of the best, if not the best original that year, which in a year with Darkest Deal, how could you say that?
What? What?
You can't.
I am never visiting Emily again.
um, no, but Galkin, I feel like it's like I think it's one of those things, dude. I think that 10 because Monsters was the same way. Unless I'm with you, like when I'm with you, that's like Zen runs. That's like
Yes,
it's the
the
Chris
magical.
effect. It's the zombie Chris effect. It's that tent. It's that same tent because
Yeah, I got
when
you for
we went
Universal Monsters.
when we went, we both were like, let's run this, like let's
Yeah.
do it like a few times in a row. And now, like I most recently went when I was closing Fallout.
Hmm.
I did a little pit stop to
Yeah.
Galkin
Just a little refresher.
solo, only one in the house, and they're all and those little freakazoids at the end inside of the monster, inside of the belly of the beast.
Hmm.
Mm-mm.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
they are my favorite, like that favorite room probably of the whole year, just in
Oh,
general.
mm. You
I
hit
think the
that room and
TV.
you're like,
You're
oh,
like,
oh, what?
like, if you're the only one in there, yeah, you're fucked. I'm sorry, because they're looking at you. They're like, what's going on? And you give them a little
They all
something, and
turn
they'll
to and they're like, fresh meat.
get
Hmm.
literally. It's so awesome. And like it's the first scene when she comes out and then the other dude comes out with the little head. It's Captain Hook in there in that one room with the sorry gore warning, but this scene with the blood eagle
Oh,
where Captain Hook comes out,
yes.
3 spots.
Oh, he's on it.
Yeah, like that. It's that moment that I love. I think Galkin just I think it's a very like solid house. I don't know if it's my favorite of the year, but I will say my phone don't disturb me when I'm talking about the Galkin. But yeah, it's like it's one of those houses that just it just has that moment. Like if you get a good run of this house, you're like, damn, this is awesome. It's 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 like a hell yeah. Like it's cool. It's like hell yeah, this is Galkin. Like that's
Yeah.
it's not like I don't think it's a house that I'm like in love with. That I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my god, I'm gonna think about this every year. Like, oh, I wish we could do Galkin again. But I'm like, hell yeah, this is awesome.
Hmm. I
You know,
mean,
this is
considering I never understood or knew what this was the first time it came out, I didn't even know how to pronounce this thing. And I was like, what is this? What is this going to be about? Like, surprise. Mm. Are we
damn.
talking Monstros from Hollywood this year? Monstros like the
I'd say
entirety, or just Monstros Orlando?
I'm gonna say Orlando, just to be fair, because
Just
they're
to be
both
fair,
Orlando
yeah.
houses. Because Hollywood, that's a different beast. Because Monstros and Galkin are definitely in the same kind of realm of like it's the monsters of blank be blank, like the monsters of the North, monsters of Latin America. It's that same kind of feel, but it's different
Um,
houses completely.
ooh.
I think,
If we're going on the idea of these are lad monsters of America,
yeah,
these are the monsters of the North,
mm,
Monstros would get the edge because I feel like they're like you can go back and individually look at each one of those monsters and then dive into a lore. Whereas
sure,
Galkin, I do not know what monsters are what. Like, I know there's different ones and maybe they're all a part of the same thing because it said
yeah,
something about they morph or something into
well,
one.
yeah,
So I can't tell you if it's is the wolf one, is the witch one, what the goblin, I guess.
yeah. I think it's more of like Monstros is a story, Galkin is a concept. Where
Yeah,
like Monstros, I thought you were literally about to take Monstros, and I'm like,
I did. Oh,
you think about that. There's none that doesn't happen in Galkin.
that's true.
Galkin doesn't get one, but I I think I like these houses kind of in the same respect. I think they both kind of fit the same bubble for me. But Galkin, I think it's also because it's a 10 house. And I think like I like love those like I have like a little love for those 10 houses. But I think they're like it's kind of like when people ask me about Chupacabras versus Julian Dragons, where and they're in the same sound stage, and
Mm.
everybody's like, what about the two? I kind of like them in the same category. I think Monsters and Gulkin I kind of like on the same level of like they're both like houses that got some really great scares out of me. Um, they had some great moments. I think Galkin trims the fat a little bit because there are points in Monstros where, like in El Stibon, where you're walking through that meat market and you're like, nothing's happening. Like I'm just walking through endless little corridors, and there are points, but there are points in Montrose. I'm like, damn, this is beautiful. I think Galkin. I prefer Galkin more, um, personally, because I think it is a lot. It's a tighter. It's a tighter narrative of like you go in and you're like,
Yeah, you hear those drums and
and she's
it just
yeah.
it's
She said,
boom,
I'm
boom,
coming
boom.
from the fjords to torture and kill everybody, and it's like, okay, this is about to go down. You know, like this is about to get crazy. So I can appreciate that aspect of it,
Yeah,
and
they
also
killed
just
Mama and Papa.
yeah. And I also just love how they reuse stuff in here because there's a couple reused masks. Darkest Deal,
Mm-hmm.
a couple of those masks come back. Of course, the Goblin, one of the Goblins from last year, comes back.
Goblins.
Um, and um, and then I want to say an orc from Dueling Dragons also comes back in this house. But
Mm-hmm.
I will say there are two moments: the Wicker Man
Mm-hmm.
and this. That
Oh
this
yes.
scene, like this is the moment of the house where I see a lot of people say if the whole house was like this, it would be at the top of my list. If the whole
Mm.
house was like this, but this is for me, it's up there in terms of some of my favorite endings of the house because it's
Yeah.
like you go in,
I didn't even realize they have body parts that are morphed into it.
yeah.
That's
It
crazy.
reminds me of the Darkest Deal and where you like go to hell. It's like that like last little room of like, oh, you thought you were done?
Mm.
We're gonna scare you. And that's how I feel with this, where you're like that when you walk in there and you see them staring at you. You're like, oh no.
And you pointed out the thing that I missed was the heartbeat,
Yeah,
the
there's a
beating
heart in there.
heart.
Uh-huh. So I think Galkin is like, I think Galkin is kind of, he's kind of,
It's kind of fire. It's
he's
good.
kind of fire. Don't say that. Say that. It's not. This ain't. Respectfully. Two different categories, my friend. Don't talk about my barrel house like that. Lots would be throwing fighting hands, fighting words. There are plenty of commentary. I want to go back to some of these. Dolls' Madhouse, Dalkin, aka the Skyrim of Monsters House. That's kind of what it feels like. I know there's a comment about the Skyrim up here.
Yeah, I could see that.
That's the vibe. I know a lot of people want like Skyrim, Game of Thrones. That's kind of what I feel with this house. Walking through the wolf scene and stuff, I see too many curtains in the one going down the ramp. So for me, I kind of like seeing behind the sets as a behind the scenes nerd, and also we could take photos of that. So I have photos of like the backside of the sets, which is cool. But yeah, a lot of people I think notice that the second half of the house is what really picks up. But I'd agree. I think the second half is the better half of the house.
Mm-hmm,
but I think the first half has some cool moments, like the first scene when she comes out.
Yeah.
And then in the cabin with Captain Hook. That's just what I'm calling that character.
And one of these scares got me pretty bad. And you were there. The scare I think that happens on the right. I think it's the Goblin.
Oh,
and it scared me so bad, like I clenched up and like ducked, and it hurt my neck for like the rest of the house.
Wait, was that where you dropped the umbrella?
I think so, because it was right before I think the stilt.
Yes. Goblin is right before the stilt.
Yeah, he got me,
and he dropped your umbrella, and then we had to stop, and it gave us enough room to where we were now the people in front,
which set us up. And some of the monsters in here, they react very well when we run the house at the start. And when we do a couple of the houses runs back and back, they kind of appreciate our love for the house.
Yeah, it was fun. It was a lot of fun. That's why I said, like, I think it was like, I don't know.
If you guys never noticed that wolf's cool. There's like little, like the wolf, there's a bear, I think.
There's a wolf, there's a bear, and there's another wolf eating a goat that we couldn't take photos of. That was the only room in the house we could not take photos of.
And this is the one that's in the top of the scene, left, right?
Top right. So this one's
top
the
right.
one.
Okay.
Yeah, because I have the top left, but this one came out better.
Gotcha.
This photo came out better. I just put a couple pictures in here from the houses just because I didn't want to like spoil everything, overload it, but I wanted to have some photo reference. But
oh yeah, she does have black light contacts. Yes, that's right.
Yes, and I love that.
I have to learn what the character's name is. What is she? She's a witch, right?
The Beast.
Is she a Shama? She's the Beast. Okay.
The Beast. I think everything is the Beast.
Oh,
the Beast.
Well, praise the Beast.
Have you ever seen What We Do in the Shadows? That's what I think about. The Beast. Love that movie.
Incorrect. Right. It's a sequel to what?
I mean, yes, and no. Respectfully, let's stop. Let's chill.
Graveyard Games is Graveyard Games.
I'm gonna chill.
You know what's the sequel to Graveyard Games? The Scare Zone that we had. Deadly.
Hey, and sequels. Speaking of sequels-ish to things we've seen before, let's talk about this guy. Haven't talked about him yet.
Oh,
the Jason.
Kill.
That was good. That was good. Jason Universe. That was the last house you needed to do. I just think that was the last house we did.
That was
right?
it. Yeah.
That was the last one that we were saving all opening weekend.
It's amazing that I've only done it once, and I think I'm good. I don't think I have to do it again. Yeah. I think I was terrified enough the first time that I don't have to do this house again.
Hey. Yes. The legend has indeed returned. By
It
legend,
is interesting seeing how the
talking about this.
complex nature between.
You're talking. I was trying to do a bit, and then you
Oh,
then
did
you
I
actually
ruin?
kept,
Did I
no, no,
ruin
no,
the
no. You
bit?
kept talking, and I felt bad. I felt like I actually was like trying to do.
Oh no, you're good.
Um, but yeah, yeah. Continue. Sorry. Let me
No,
chip.
no, you're good.
Let me chip. Wait,
I'm trying to locate. That's why. Where's he at? Where's
Jason.
Jason at?
So
So, what your first thoughts when you went through?
I thought it was badass. I thought it was cool. It it caught me off guard because I didn't know what I think my expectations were on the floor. This was like near the bottom of my hype list, so I was like, it'll be Jason. But what got me, and I don't know if they do this in Hollywood, so I can't tell you, but in Orlando, when you walk into Fast and Furious, they play the music. You hear the score.
The
When
dun
you
dun dun
walk,
dun.
yeah, like that, like all the just
Shing.
various. I appreciate the audio
Oh
accompaniment because
yeah.
we can't play it.
Oops.
Chris will do it for copyright on the stream
I could
immediately.
only do like
Thanks,
five
guys.
seconds at a time.
See y'all later. We're gonna end the stream now. So yeah, so we walk through, and then when you walk up, it's different than other Fast and Furious houses because when the other houses you go through that big door, and
Yeah.
it's like oh the door and behind the door, it's that. But this one you go through the hallway, and they have this cool projection on the hallway that's like meant to look like water, like you're like going up, and it's going through, and you hear that like the as you're walking in, and the score, and that immediately put me in the mode of like it's just like
Oh,
Halloween.
like
No,
you're
it's
in
just
the
like
movie.
Halloween. Like I'm in the movie. And that was like the coolest thing to me. And that was what I loved. So many nods to the movies. I mean, I'm going to put this on the screen. They have this, the Pamela shrine with the sweater
Mm.
from part two. Of course, they have the buggy from part three. The coolest, because part three is my favorite Friday the 13th movie. I kind of mentioned it at the top of the stream because it's so stupid. They have the biker gang in there as bodies. They're hard to
Mm.
see. You
Okay.
wouldn't know unless you pointed it out. And then they have the yo-yo guy up in the rafters, um, which I'm like, that's perfect. And Shelly's in there. That's why I like so many nods to part three, but also like nods to all of the movies. And it's like, no, they don't hold back from the legacy stuff. Like it feels like a legacy of Leatherface. I know that's a comment here
Yeah,
of like
I was just
a
reading that. I was like, oh
legacy of
man.
Leatherface. We'll get to that.
Mm.
But like a legacy of Leatherface type of house with this. But also this comment was exactly how I felt, where it felt like I was outside. Like it felt like I was in a it felt like, and you can attest to this a little more, but it feels like one of those classic HHN houses where it's like in a queue for a ride, and it's like almost when they did it in Jaws, of like
Yep.
that same kind of feel of it, like where it's like you feel like you're in the camp, you're
Mm-hmm.
walking around. It's nothing too crazy. Like the sets aren't that elaborate,
Yeah.
but it works. It works for what it's supposed to do, and it gets the scares out of you. It scares the shit out of you in that second half, especially. But I love the mask. I was worried when they said we're gonna go through the giant mask. I was like, oh, that's gonna be so stupid. Like that's gonna be like, oh, it's a giant. I was expecting it to say Jason Universe, buy the Angry Orchard cider on there. Hey, we have a game coming out. Like it was gonna be almost like a poster type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But no, when I saw this of like, oh no, it's like a shattered mask, and it's literally taking you into all the different versions of Jason. I'm like, that's cool as shit. Like that's awesome. I loved I loved it. I thought it was great. Orlando does not have Crazy Ralph.
No, they
Only
do not.
Hollywood,
Only
which is very,
Hollywood.
very sad. But yeah,
There
there
he
he is right
is.
there.
Crazy Ralph. He loved talking to me, especially, and scaring the crap out of me.
I love that mask because it's like one of those like old guy masks you can
Yeah,
buy
it's
at
just
Spirit.
old
That's
man mask.
yeah, like old guy. Um, let's see, going back. Jason has a killer soundtrack. Galkin ended up being my number one. Hey, valid. Friday the 13th are free with ads on YouTube. Well, my friends, you can also get, if you want to see all the movies for Friday the 13th for Jason Universe, this is the one to buy. This is the Blu-ray set to buy, or the DVD set. This is the 8. It's the first 8 movies. That's what the house is based on. So if we're looking for HHN homework, or if you just want to get in the vibe, I need to
Mm.
watch more of them. Those are the ones to watch. But yeah, didn't know free on YouTube. I want to say that set was like $20 or something for the discs. I love this kill.
I seriously, what tripped me out about that is the first time we saw this, right? Jason is doing repeat. He's just repeating himself. So I thought it was an animatronic. And I was like, oh, that's
Oh,
cool. So the second time when we went through on the second day, he was literally doing that, but then he moved. And I was
ooh,
like, oh crap, he's real. Like
uh-uh.
I thought he was fake. But it tripped me out. Is it scarier than Insidious? Hell yes.
Uh-oh.
Whoever designed this house,
Does not like Zombie
they
Chris.
need to see a therapist. They need to see a therapist. They need better help or something because they took it to where it did need to go. This house didn't need to be that terrifying. I don't enjoy this house. That's the thing. It would be one thing if I got some scares and I enjoyed some of the audio cues like Insidious. That was fun. It was terrifying, but it was fun. This house, no. It's just no. Dreamport can tell you when we went through like how much I was swearing, how much I was like not enjoying this experience. So I'm not looking forward to doing this house again.
Are you gonna do it again?
Yes, I would have to, but I'm not looking forward to it. That's a great scare.
Oh my god, I love the bow and arrow. That's my favorite thing in this whole house.
Oh
In
yeah,
Hollywood,
in
Hollywood's
Hollywood,
version,
yeah, yeah.
perfect.
That's where a lot of people were liking Hollywood's over because they're like, oh, you're seeing him do the kills and stuff, as opposed to he's just popping out of a boo hole, popping out of a boo hole.
Yeah.
I will say I'm glad to see both experiences of it, where Hollywood is, you know, more theatrical, more you're watching him do the stuff like from the
Mm.
movies. Orlando is like you're stepping foot into the
And we're
camp
gonna scare
counselors.
the
Like,
hell out of you.
yep,
It feels opposite. Usually, it's the opposite way around, where
yeah.
Orlando's more theatrical. Um, I do want to address this food recommendations, just because I want to talk about the Jason elote.
Mm,
That it's simple, but it's good,
it
and I've
works.
got it multiple times. The pizza, the Freddy's pizza, it's good. I'm sorry, y'all. Like, it shouldn't work. I've gotten it multiple times.
You know,
I've enjoyed it.
it's funny. Someone said I was reading on Reddit where someone was like, "Are they open during the day?" And someone's like, "Louis is, but not like the Five
Yeah,
Nights
yeah,
like
yeah.
thing." But they're like, if you want it, just go and order spaghetti and order pizza and put the spaghetti on the
Just put
pizza
it
and
on
there you
top.
go.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I guess, I
It's not the
guess it's
garlic
the
crust
same,
and
or
it's
is it
not
not?
baked, but yes. Like, it's, yeah, I guess, but not really. That's good. The
The drinks are the mocktails this year,
mocktails are
man.
good. Pretty good all
They
around.
heard your cries for more
I know
mocktails.
everything's got mocktails. The only one I will say I didn't really like, and I probably wouldn't get again, is the Chica, the green one that we
Oh yeah,
got.
the one that I said, what I
Carpet
say, it
cleaner.
tastes like a
Yeah.
cleaning product.
That one was fine, but the Bray Wyatt one was good. The Clown
The Radway.
Cafe, the Radaway, the Quantum, all that was pretty good. The Foxy's drink, I know you haven't had
Mm.
that one, but that one, it's pretty simple. It's just basically like Fanta strawberry with added stuff, but it works. Um, the carrot cake,
I enjoyed the one thing I enjoyed at Art was that cranberry drink. That was
yeah,
great.
you get a carrot cake to enjoy
Oh,
alongside your drinks.
that carrot
Wait,
cake,
hold on.
man. Yes. Whoever, whatever chef came up with that one, yes. Give that man a raise.
And the Fallout food, I think it's all pretty good in general. So I say do Fallout early because that one gets very long. That line gets very long.
Hmm.
It's busy, but Freddy's is doable. Really, most of it is finding a seat. They move quick in there. It's just getting a spot to sit is more of the trouble. But if you can manage, hey, go to Freddy's. Freddy's is like I think the safest option is this pizza. But the elotes are good as like kind of a cool, another kind of safer ish option. Fallout, it's a little weird if you're down. Yes, yeah. I think like those are like probably the two that I would recommend the most. Freddy's and Fallout. WWE is
Yeah.
for carrot cake. Carrot cake I think is the best sweet.
Carrot cake,
It's
yeah.
like sweet item. I think the pizza. It's between the pizza and I think the cram tots from Fallout. And
And
ooh, the elote.
the longest
Yeah.
line you're going to wait in, unless you do this right at the start,
Ooh,
is the cheese stick. That
cheese stick
line, oh
wraps
man.
around the corner.
It reminds me of when Stranger Things was right there, and that line was always nonstop to get the surfer boy, the pizza, the drink. It reminds me of that. I don't even know why the art booth is not even that long of a line
Because the food
versus this
sucks.
generic
Yeah,
clown.
the food sucks. That's why the food is bad. That's why. Uh, hey, I like carrots. Okay, maybe I'm a Bugs
Wait a
Bunny
minute,
in
someone
another
said,
life.
"Oh,
I
yeah,
like.
yeah." You haven't had that carrot cake. That's why.
It's pretty good.
Yes, it's a
And
deep
then
fried carrot cake. Can't go wrong with
we
that.
got to get it because I have to. I can't eat a whole one. I think I've determined because I tried to get it again. It's a lot for one person. For me, at least, I was like, I had like about half of it, and I was like, okay, I'm kind of done with this. Like, I don't want any more. But it's good, but it's like it's just a lot.
Well, you should have took it to Raid Rabbit. Just
Oh
took it
yeah,
into the house.
they're like, here you go, buddy. But yeah, no, that I would say the little sidebars. We're talking about Jason because the elotes are good. Elotes might be my favorite savory thing. I'm gonna be honest with you because the elotes I've gotten them multiple
I
times.
have not tried anything from Jason Booth, so
Pair it, pair
I
it with
have to.
the headless pumpkin.
Mm.
That was good. That's a good pairing. Get the headless pumpkin and the that
There is our Artista. He has a food booth.
and
El
Cat Lady has a
Artista,
food booth.
Cat Lady. Wait a
Hatchet and
minute,
Chains should.
Dolls does.
Hatchet and Chains should
Yeah,
have.
because that would have made sense. Western.
That's where you should have put your walking tacos and your spicy ramen and all this. It would have been great having like spicy food at because it's like the hot
Yeah.
lava demons, and that would have been great if they had some, you know, like a spicy dog or something. Because we haven't talked about the dog. Now, dog this year, I got it. You have not had it yet. We need to get it next time you're in town. The dog,
The dog.
the
It
freaky dog,
is on the menu.
the freaky dog.
And
That's
you
at
got
that
it.
cheese stick. Well, because I went there because that's a tip. Stain Scream. Do it during Stain Scream. That's the first food booth that opens. Do it
Mm.
early. I was able to walk right up and get it, and it wasn't
Wow.
like a thing of
No.
like I had to wait in the line. You hit them when they open or when they're right about to close. Because if you try to go Fallout and the dog specifically, those two booths, primo. That's when the lines are ridiculous. Fallout is ridiculous too.
Yeah.
I've seen it where they have multiple switchbacks in that queue.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's like
What?
you're waiting in line for a house almost for the Fallout food. So if it's something you're interested in, which I mean, Fallout food is good and it's also really great looking, like it's like cool novelty. But back to houses because we're 2 hours in. Jason, do we have any final thoughts on Jason?
Fuck that house.
Uh-oh.
It's giving me nightmares.
So Jason was nightmares for your senses, for your, eyes, for your ears. Let's talk about the house that's a nightmare for your nostrils. Let's talk about Hatch and Chains.
Oh, PU. Am I the only one that thinks this house smells? Does it still have that smell?
They toned it down.
Thank
It's not as
God.
intense
Okay.
because they kind of mask it with they have another smell deeper in the house. So When you go into the schoolhouse, they actually have like a burning like campfire smell, and that's much more
Mm,
pleasant
okay.
than animal dirty
Dirt. I don't know what.
dirty
I don't
animal
even know what it smells like.
animal pen.
I imagine
Uh,
that's what a horse pin cowboy dirt area would smell like.
but Hatchet and Chains, what? I know you do not love this house.
I know it's a surprising one because there's so many people I know that love it. They love this house. Connor,
Myself included.
he loves it. You love it.
I love it.
I think April likes it. I am the only one that's like I I like the house. I think the scares are really aggressive for this being a HHN Orlando house. The scares are really there. But I think for me seeing Origins a Knott's house and seeing that a Western house and what they were able to do with that versus what this is, it feels like a
Mm-hmm.
Slaughter Cinema house. And I don't mean that in a great way either. I mean, like, it feels very, I don't know. Does it feel like what I imagine it would have been? I guess. I feel like the demon mask should have been a lot better. They look very cheaply. And Hatchet and Chain themselves, I feel like they're not too much important characters in here. Although we do see them here and there, I just don't feel like we get enough of them. I don't know.
True.
Maybe I just need to see the house a couple more times.
No, I agree with that about Hatchet and Chains. That for them being the heroes of the story, we only see them together once in the house.
Hmm.
In the first scene where we have Hatchet riding this horse here, and then we have Chains wrangling up the demon with the
Oh, is
fire
that where he's pulling it under
under
the
the
like
fire.
fireplace or something?
It is um it's a house that I think for me it has just that kind of I said the one thing I wanted from this house is for it to be wild and just insane. Like that's what I wanted. I want it to be crazy, I want it to be loud, I want it to be that gunslinging, like you don't know what the hell's going on. You're looking around going, "Oh my god, what is happening here?" But at the same time, there are some great scares. The my favorite scene is probably the Undertaker scene.
Yes. That is a good scene. I'll give him that.
Undertaker scene where the guy in the middle, Rise, my brother, he comes around the corner, and then the other dude from the graveyard freaking slaps his hand in your face like that dude, and it's a tall skeleton, which I think is like, oh, that's such a cool design. I love the schoolhouse. I love I
The-
love so many moments of this house, but I do wish we got more Hatchet and Chains. And I also wish we got to see the granny a little more because she's in the front of the house.
that's
She
true.
unleashes the demons
Yeah.
in a very like I want to say you said it in earlier about very like deadite fashion. Um and then the house this is another one that it just kind of ends. And
Yeah,
I'm
it
like
just ends.
he throws dynamite, it blows up, which is a cool effect. But at the same time, it feels like the second half of this house feels very like it feels like we're rushing to get to the end. And I'm like,
Mm. Hmm.
and I again, I appreciate just kind of the fast paced nature of it, but I do feel like some of it does move a little just take a little too long.
Yeah, some people love that effect. In me, it messes with my eyes. It does this weird thing where I stare at it and my eyes keep going like it's weird.
um,
I can't stare at that scene too long.
so I think like it. I do like this. Yes, I like this idea of the depth because, and this feels very weird because it almost does feel like a cartoon. It does like it does feel like almost like Saturday morning cartoon esque, like a '60s '70s western, where like you have these very beautiful sets, like these well designed, gorgeous looking sets, and then you have this weird like demon characters and like in it, and it's like it is almost cartoonish, and I think I like that. I think like I can appreciate that, and I will say this one is definitely made by the cast. because the cast they go hard in here. They will get the scare out of you.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna try their damn hardest to get that scare out of you, and that makes this house like easy to just like, oh man, I want to go do that one again. Oh, I want to do it again. And like I said, I love it. I think it's a cool concept. I think there are many great moments. I do think it's not going to work for everybody. I think kind of like Gawkin, it's not going to work for everybody. It's going to be another one that's like either you're in it or you're not. But a lot of people aren't. But yeah, I do appreciate that they replaced that stinky smell in there because it didn't bother me as much as other people, but I was like, I remember everybody's it smells like shit in here. Like everybody I was with literally had that same comment. But I like it. I could see like I said, I could see where people might not enjoy it as much, but I enjoy it. But I isn't my it might be my favorite original, but also I really love El Artista. I think El
Mm,
Artista is more of a standout this
yeah.
year of like you're gonna look back and go, yeah, that was pretty cool. Where Hatchet and Chains, I go, that was cool for this year. That was cool for this year. Will I take
Yeah.
this? I enjoyed Slaughter Cinema more. I enjoy Slaughter Cinema 2 more than Hatchet and Chains. I think I've come to that conclusion. And I think like again, I like this more. So as far as Slaughter Cinema sequel, I guess I'll ask you this:
Yeah.
this versus the Yeti houses, because they're the same kind of in the pulling from the same sphere of like these are sequels to Slaughter Cinema. Which do you kind of which one are you leaning more towards?
Yetis.
Yetis. You like I love them
Yeah.
Yetis.
I like the Yetis. There were are you when you say the Yetis, you mean the both like
Either
the
yeah,
cold
any
one and then the swamp one, right?
yeah, either any of them, like any of it, like of you, like oh, I really like this Yeti or that Yeti.
Yeah.
Because for me, I'll take Hatchet over the last Yeti's house, but I still
Mm.
like Slaughter Cinema 2 more than those two. But also,
Okay.
I didn't do it very much as often. So, Dylan,
Dylan.
shout
That
out
smell,
Dylan.
man. That's the only thing that's stuck in my mind. That darn smell.
Now, I think this is coming. I think Bugs 2 is coming. I think that's their next big thing because it's like Slaughter Cinema where they're putting bugs everywhere. They're putting that BuzzCon everywhere of like it's becoming like Slaughter Cinema where you see those posters and you'd be like, damn, Slaughter Cinema here again. So I
Hmm.
could see it, but we'll save that for a later time.
Yeah.
That's for next year. Um, oh no, sorry, that not that comment. I
Oh,
want to go to this one.
um.
This one is this is a
Ooh.
big comment, big question.
Oh, damn.
It's hard. It's hard because Demon's Pier we've had years to think about, and it has kind of stood the test of time in a
Yeah, a
way.
lot of people they bring that
It's like their
up.
favorite house or one of their favorite houses. It's one of my favorite houses.
And the fact that it was from a scare zone. Our Latista is just its
An
own
original,
thing. Yeah, it's
new idea.
original house that's kind of encompassing the theme of this year. Whereas Dead Man's was them taking a scare zone and then expanding it into a house.
Mhm.
Very different. But yeah, I can see the comparison of like these both beautiful original houses. Mm,
I think I think it's too early to call it because it is like this thing of like we've had so much time. Deadman's Pier is 3 years old. We've been with that house for years,
damn.
and everything that we've looked with with Deadman's Pier is like what? How do I say this? Deadman's Pier has already inspired so much, and I think partially El Artista has to owe a little bit to Deadman's Pier because a house like El Artista I feel like happens because of Demon's Pier. House like Blood Moon happens because of Demon's Pier.
Hmm.
But for what I get out of Demon's Pier is not the size, is not the scale. It is the dread. When you walked into that soundstage, you heard that very like grim violin music. You heard the wind in the background, the
Mm-hmm.
moaning, the groaning of the spirits of like the dead fishermen. They move really slow. It
Yes.
feels very somber. It feels like a tragic, like dark. It feels like a place. Like it's less of
Mm-hmm.
like a intense, like scare, scare, scare. It's like I'm in a place I probably shouldn't be. And when you get that, like very few houses have given me the same kind of feeling. I don't think any house has given me that same kind of feeling in the past few years. There are houses that give me dread in a different way. Insidious, perfect example. When you'd hear that creepy violin, like out of tune violin, and you walk up to the house and you're like, oh my god, I know I'm gonna be scared shitless out of here. Exorcist was the same way of like walking in there and you smell that again stinky. I don't know what's up with the stinky houses, but they make that dirt, earthy death smell.
Mm-hmm.
But that's a different kind of dread than when you go into Demon's Pier and you're like, God, this is just sad. And like El Artista doesn't have that same kind of feel. Although April, good comment. Demon's Pier has yes, is a different feel, but Artista has great moments in there too.
Yeah.
Artista has the first. I think the first scene is incredibly overlooked. Just how many layers it is, because you see him pacing around. You see him painting this unfinished painting, which is essentially a foreshadowing for the end of the house. You have the giant still walker. You have the hands in the painting. You have the skeletons from coming up from underneath. There's so many layers in that one scene, and I wish all the scenes were like that. If all the scenes move like that, I think you could have had it that way. But it's a different kind of house because Demon's Pier is expansive. Elotisa is restrained. It's in inside of a house. Like, yes, the
That's
sets are
true.
big,
Yeah.
but Deadman's Pier,
You go from
you
its
could feel just the
town to the
scale. You could
boardwalk
feel
to the ship.
like you could see the lighthouse from different areas of the of the soundstage. And I think that goes back to that comment of when you have a soundstage and you actually play around in it. Because also El Artiso was kind of done a disservice because it's in the smallest soundstage. So even though yes, it's big,
Mm.
you could still feel that some of those sets are a little small, or like in a different house might have been, or a different location might have been bigger. Um, so, I, but Artisa has such a strong story. Like that's the thing is the story has more impact on me than Demonsphere. But that's why it's for me it's too early to call it. But that is the
Mm.
going to be the debate. I think houses like Deadman's Pier, Blood Moon is also another one that I feel like people lump in the same conversation. I feel like
Yeah.
Blood Moon scenically almost was even a little more impressive than Artista because scenically because it has this like the town feel, it has that human grounded realism. It yeah. So rushed and ending. That's another. It goes back to what I said about the endings feeling very like a lot of houses feeling very rushed this year. And then halfway through, it does kind of like I said, it's a house in thirds. The first third is the haunting. Second third is the why. The third part is the here's the finale that doesn't really
Mm.
quite stick the landing because of that. Um, but it's still a great house. They're both great houses. But I think like it's a complicated one. That's its own debate.
Yeah. A lot of people said all the time, I heard that, where Dead Man is beautiful. It's a great house. It's wonderful. It's beautiful, scenic, but it's not really scary. And then El
Mm-hmm.
Artista is like, okay, we're gonna pull back on some of that, but we're gonna give you
More
scares.
scares.
Yeah,
More scares, yeah.
yeah. It's kind of
100%.
like them
I
trying to correct whatever the
I
disadvantages
think
of.
I think Demon's Pier or El Artista is more along the lines of a Graveyard Games than a Deadman's Pier. Where Graveyard Games had this very strong story. It
Mm-hmm.
had these really striking rooms that you go in, and when you were in there, when you had the mother and you had I mean the facade obviously beautiful, but like when you go in there with all the kids like lined up around and some of them would move and like you have those rooms that stick in your memory of Graveyard Games. That's I feel like with Artista. Like Artista in general, I probably am gonna remember a few of those rooms and the characters in the story. But I think El Ortizo would work great in like a Jack Presents kind of house, where if it's like a couple rooms from El Artista, will be what I think we take forward from this year to next year and the years forward. But so yeah, Demon's Pier, El Artista, everybody loves it. Let's talk about another house that everybody loves, Fallout. Another house that everybody loves, everyone's favorite. Everybody loves it. So I think this is the last one we have to talk about, right? I think we talked about everything else.
I
Jason,
think so.
I didn't even plan it to be this way, but I didn't. I wasn't even a part of the bid. I think we just, yeah,
We
actually, I think we
did.
talked about everything else. But it's time. It's time to talk about Fallout.
The big ghoul. The ghoul.
The ghoul. I'll let you share because you obviously don't have the same relationship with this house that I do.
That's true.
So it's different for me. So that's why my thoughts and takes are going to be very different. But I'm curious what your thoughts. Okay, crickets. That's enough.
What? Who said that?
Okay, so have to go in timeout.
Oh, you're
I'm gonna start putting people in timeout. Kidding.
So Fallout. You know, it has that Gulkin effect where you said Gulkin is it's enjoyable whenever we're going through it. And Fallout, I felt like that had the same aspect for me, where seeing the house with you and seeing how happy you are and how like certain things you're loving and you're pointing to stuff and you're showing me stuff in the house and seeing that way has made me really enjoy the house experience. And Hollywood is its own separate thing. Like I enjoyed that, on its own of an experience away from Orlando's. I don't know the game. I know of the game, never played it. Didn't really even watch the series until shortly before Horror Nights because you said it was really good. And I was like, all right, I'll give it a watch. And then watched a couple of episodes and I was like, man, this is really, really good. And then before I know it, finished it. Is it my favorite? No.
Yeah, and
Do
that's
I
valid.
think it's a bad house? No. I think it has some worthy scenes. There are some really cool effects in there, some good scares. I don't mind the e prompts or the sounds, the
The
whatever they're
quotes.
called,
There's,
the quotes, because Hollywood doesn't really have those. That's the thing. I was missing it over there. I was like, man, I need to hear, I need my organs. I need that. But it wasn't in Hollywood's version. So it was very weird to me.
Mhm.
Do I feel like there's more they could have done? Yes.
Yeah.
I think the house is good up until I would say the last couple scenes where I feel like they do kind of cheapen out a little bit. And I understand the effects of what they're doing with, having the mech and having the ghoul and then having the mirrors. It's supposed to represent that there's multiple of the mechs there, but it is a cheap effect. It's very, very cheap. It's cool. Like, I, I don't know what to say. I enjoyed the house. I know a lot of people don't like it. They don't enjoy it.
Yeah.
I feel bad that you can't like see it the way we saw it.
The thing is that I will say, and this is the key piece of this, it's gotten better. It has. Because I will say, defending this house then and defending this house now is two different things. Because I've had people message me and go, I see what you're saying. I see it. I'm like, see? I think it's weird because it doesn't it operates in such a weird thing, and Fallout as a series is kind of like this. It's like either you get it or you don't, and it is what it
Mm.
is. And that's not the defense of a house that is not good. Like that's the thing is like it sucks because okay, so the way it started for me was because of I came at this from the love of the property because I've been playing these games for over a decade. I played multiple Fallout games. I was in love with the show. Cannot wait for season two. This is a dream IP to have at this event. So yeah, I'm gonna eat it up. I'm gonna eat up everything that they do with Fallout at this event. But at the same time, it went from a house that I loved because of the property to a house I just love. Like I love the ethos, the work, damn you, and the I need my own fancy shit, and all the
And
little
the chicken,
quotes, the
chicken.
chicken, all that. And I've gotten so many great moments with these characters in this house because I'm usually closing this house, so they see me and I'm there. I'll get a few. If I'm here in closing, I'm getting at least probably 5 runs of this house within an hour.
Mm.
So I'm running this house, right? This is my this is my like this is my frozen empire, okay? This is my I'm gonna run this house a ton of times. I've already done this house more than I've ever done any other house at HHN in terms of house runs. And that's not what it's all about, but it's like I've spent so much time in here and seeing it with the light tone was like amazing. Like I getting to go through with my photos and being like, oh my god, like photos of
Yeah.
everything. And this is what I say. Um, I'm gonna say this right here. This comment. This is how I feel. Where like people, when you get a property you love,
Mm-hmm.
you're gonna be excited about it. So regardless if it's Fallout or Doom or Scream or The Conjuring or whatever, The Conjuring could suck, and there are gonna be people that are gonna go, well, I loved it because I love The Conjuring and I'm so excited and I've wanted to see this at the event forever. And also, I'm gonna say this, Joey, baby, thank you. Scare actor from Fallout. I like you guys, all of you guys, all of you guys, like I y'all make my night on multiple occasions. I've been like, I want to go home. And then and I'm like, oh, I gotta stick it out to show my love for this house and feel like get that feeling of like, damn, I want to go run Fallout tonight. So it's like it's the most genuine like love I felt for a house since
Mm.
I've been coming to this event. So it's like it's a different thing of like is the house the best? I would say, is it perfect? No. Are there things I would change? Absolutely. I want that bear. Why don't we have that bear?
Yeah, that
The bear. Come on, bring the bear.
bear
Right.
is
But like the fact that there are folks and Joey, you're not the only one. I've gotten messages from other people that are like, "Hey, appreciate your love for the house. Like it's like it means so much to me." And like just to be there and be like, "Hey, I love it. I love it. Bear, 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 bear." And the animatronic T60 looks great. Although
yeah,
is he really that small in person? Because he almost looks like
a smaller
smaller,
version. Yeah.
which is like I think
Um,
it might have worked better if they didn't have an actual
or if he was
actor.
on a platform or something.
If so, yeah, because in Orlando they have the first T60 when
Hmm.
it moves is on a platform, and and then the other one is like the one that comes out. But I will say the mirror effect works better now.
Mm.
It works better now because the ghoul in there, the timing is much better to where it's like you won't because sometimes if you see him come out, then it kind of spoils where he's at, and it's like okay, then it falls apart.
Oh,
But I've
okay.
noticed I haven't been able to spot him, even though I know exactly where he's going to come from. It works a little better. Also, that room smells very weird. I don't know why it smells like that. It just smells like I don't know why. Is that I don't know if that's a smell that they pump in or if that's just the smell of the machinery or whatever. But it just has this like,
I can't see.
yeah, I can't see shit. No gats in Fallout. I wish we got a fun gat, and also
Yeah.
I wish we got
Pit Boy.
well the so there's supposed to be two. I think there's two Pit Boys in there. There's one I've seen it, but the other one I don't know where it is. But I wish we got the Q video that they did in Hollywood. That is a big thing that I wish we got to see. Is that
Yeah.
Q video. I think Hollywood, and I'm happy for people in Hollywood. It it's cool because I'm glad that Fallout, because sometimes with Hollywood and Orlando, they do houses very similar. And it sometimes feels like, okay, why even bother going to both? But Fallout is very clearly a different experience for Orlando versus Hollywood. And some people can argue which one's better. I think both, I think if you mesh them both, that would be, I
Hmm.
think, the ultimate. I think there are pieces of one and the other. Like, there's no Philly in Hollywood. There's no, um,
Oh.
there's no big finale with the T60s that way in Hollywood. Hollywood ends at the Super Duper Mart, but I think they did the Super Duper Mart a little better in terms of their layout. So I like that you actually can go in front of the facade. Like you walk up
Mm.
to the front
Yeah,
of the
yeah.
Super Duper Mart and walk in the door. And like Orlando, where it's just kind of a transition. But I don't want to spend too much time. I feel like we've already been chatting for Fallout for a minute. And I do want to talk quickly about zones. Because zones. What are you watching over there?
Oh, sorry.
We're streaming. We're streaming. Come on, we're streaming.
We're streaming.
Um, let's talk about mutations. I feel like we
Mutations.
can kind of go quicker with the zones. I don't think like we have to spend as much time on the zones, but
True.
mutations. I feel like would you say that's your favorite zone this year?
Um,
Or would you? I'm curious.
Mutations. Yes,
Yeah,
it's my favorite.
me too. I'd say both of us. We love the Gabagools, and we also love Premium Night of just hanging out.
Yes. Yeah. I love the characters. I love the mix of them. I love that we're getting like these skeleton-esque, like scary looking things, but then we got like the green goop, green nastiness. I love like the little stage shows that they do like this.
Yes,
If you don't like
yes,
sit in the zone and watch things, you miss stuff. Like this is really cool.
yes. And they've added
Ooh.
a new. I don't know if it's new. I did not see it in the main stage with the
Hmm.
truck. They have a giant animatronic monster that comes out from behind the barrels.
What?
I know I have to get footage of it because I haven't seen it, but it's because I just noticed it my last trip because they'll do a show with Tony, who Tony is the driver, the cab driver,
Yeah.
and then there's Tony and Moneybags, Moneybags Moretti,
He's
the big
the
dude
big
with the
one.
jowls and the
Yeah.
stuff everywhere.
He was in the middle of eating some spaghetti.
Yeah, he's in the middle of some gabagool. He was enjoying his gabagool. They had to go rob the bank and then crashed into the truck. Um, but yeah, no. Then they do this thing, and then this giant like monster comes out, and it's like the thing where it's like all these body parts morph
What?
together with the green.
No. I
Yeah,
have
I haven't
not.
seen
Where?
anybody.
Wow. I'm
I've
gonna have
not
to
seen
see where
anybody
this.
film this. It's like a thing that I like. I was like, is this a real thing? I have some photos of it, like some very blurry photos of it from that I took the other night. But yeah, I love this zone. I love the interactions in here. I wanted good, classic gabagool interactions in the zone, and I get it, and I get it, and I loved it. Um, we have an ongoing relationship with the paperboy. He is we're frenemies with the paperboy, and the photographer Vlash is in here. He'll know. We spent like a good half hour talking to this one character. And like he kept coming up, and then the other characters would come up and interact with us, and it's so much fun. It's just such a
Yes,
fun zone.
all the characters, and that's what I've noticed too. Apart from the other zones, all the characters they mix and match so well. They interact with each other. They interact with like us as in the guests. They interact with just so many things that are going on in the zone. Whether it's if you're wearing something green, they're gonna like react to be like, "Get away from me! You got that green stuff," or like whatever. It's such a level of like just interactiveness or like fun. It's creative. It's never boring. Like I never walk through the zone and go, all right, I'm kind of bored. Like I feel like, man, I just want to like stay here and just look around and like
Sit
watch
it.
everybody.
Yeah.
But you know, you got to go to houses and do other things. But it's like, man, I constantly think about the zone.
Well, I will say I did my last open to close night last week. Um, and after 7:30, the houses are all an hour plus
That's when you
until
do
like
the
12.
gabagool.
That's when you hang, and we hung out there for like a good like hour and a half, like just roaming around. I was taking photos. So like I spent a lot of time in this zone, and I need to do with the other zones because for me, the gap between mutations and everything else is big. Where
Yeah.
like I enjoy the other zones, but I don't love them. And I feel like it's just because I also haven't spent a lot of time in them. I will say for me, mutations obviously is my favorite. That was my favorite from premium night. I literally turned around to him and said, "This is probably my new favorite scare zone." Period. And it still stands. I think that the scare zone has everything that I want. I'm gonna miss it when it's gone, but
Yep.
um, I think probably my next favorite is probably Mel's, which is crazy because Mel's grew on me a lot. I mean, street experience, whatever. Um, I'm counting it. Mel's just like that's another one of a like, oh, you take a seat, you relax in the you just take a seat in the chairs outside and watch the zombies interact with people. And it's fun
Mm-hmm.
like during the daytime. Like before it gets dark,
Mm-hmm.
when everybody's kind of roaming around and you can see them and they'll come up to you and try to offer you food, and it's like it's really fun. Like if they're just it's fun, and I hope Mel's gets something more, a full zone, a house, a show. If they're going to bring this back, do a show in the front. Let's get some victims roaming around. I think that would be a lot of fun. Like I would love to have like I think it'd be fun if you had the body parts, like the victims missing the body parts that are on the tray. So like this
Oh
woman's
yeah,
like
yeah,
missing a
yeah,
hand, so we have someone walking around with no hand, or they have
yeah.
little like eye lollipops. So if someone with the gouged out eyes or something like that would be a lot of fun of like really expanding the world and making it feel like, oh, this is a cool thing. And I would love for them to go inside the restaurant.
Yes.
Maybe if it's one or two of them roaming around just every so often, kind of like what Art does, where he'll just pop inside of Finnegan's and just, annoy some people and then leave. Right.
Yeah.
I don't think it would be that big of a deal. I don't think it would be that big of like a risk. I know Mel's is a very popular spot. Specialty food. Why don't we have any Mel's food this year? Why don't we have
Yeah,
like a
that doesn't make
milkshake?
sense
Like a
because
milkshake, a
you literally
burger.
have the restaurant. It's called
Yeah.
Mel's Dine. Why you couldn't put any kind of decorations or something on that TV screen and a special burger
Special
or a
burger and a special
shake, a
milkshake.
pie or
Yeah,
something.
yeah, exactly. Like that's some, and that's what I'm saying. Like I think there's a lot of room, and I think
Yeah.
this question, this is going to be the big question: is was it worth losing the zone?
Mm.
Club horror? No. Just going to put it blanket statement.
What do you mean? But you but
No,
you love club horror.
I do not. But Mel's, I think, has potential. That's the
Yeah.
thing. Mel's has potential to become something that even if it just stays a street experience, if they add, oh, we add some specialty food. Oh, we're gonna add, this, that, and the third every so often. We're gonna do this. I feel like it's like at that point we could see something really grow and become like a street experience becomes a street experience and not just a substitute for a zone. Personally, um, but yeah, I feel like the same thing. It's like club horror. I feel like just it takes something that just should stay at Dead Coconut Club. I don't know why we're bringing this into the park. Not saying that this atmosphere is not doesn't have a space, of course. You know what I think would be cool if we tied in and this would kind of suck. Logistically, this is not. I don't know. It's like it's hard to do because it's like with the space that they have, club horror just doesn't really fit. But I would say like doing something where it's more along the lines of tied in Nightmare Fuel or tied into Dead Coconut, like something like that. But just having club horror be as it is, where I don't know, I don't know, I don't love it. I think it is one of those things. Also, Chris is here, but he'll be back. He'll be right back. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I think club horror is it's not great in my opinion. I not anything against the like. I think the people working at it, dancers are fun. The DJs are fun. They do funny stuff there. Love when art goes over there, but I just think the idea just doesn't work for where it is. Because when you get a big pit in the middle of everybody jumping and dancing, as they're supposed to, then yeah, it just feels like it's like, oh, now I have to navigate around this giant mosh pit in the middle of this theme park when we have a club in City Walk that you can go do this at. And that it's its own secluded area, that they have a whole area outside that you can hang out and dance if you want. So, and also it just kind of really disturbs the feel of the event personally. But I think Mel's has potential. I think Club Horror, as much as I don't love Club Horror, I think it's going to come back. I think Club Horror will be back. I think that you see how people are loving it. There are people and the fan base is loving it. They're eating it up. And I just like it's one thing. Like if they expand it, if they make it themed, make this a part of the HHN bar. Like make it on the lower level of the HHN bar. We have some, whatever. Yeah, like exactly. It feels like it is other haunts, but other like like Mickey's Not So Scary. It sounds weird to compare Horror Nights to Not So Scary, but like it is the other Orlando Halloween attraction, has a dance party. It always has dance parties around. So yeah. Chris is gone. So I have taken over the stream. Oh no, he's not gone. He's here.
I am here.
I literally just said as soon as you left, I was like, "Oh, Chris is gone, and I've taken over the stream." So we're gonna talk more Fallout.
I'm here.
But yeah, what's your thoughts on it?
I've had this argument over and over with myself about losing a scene, losing a scare zone to club horror. Mel's I don't mind as much. Because we're not really losing like an area, but club horror, yeah, we lost an area.
See now, Lady Gaga Scare Zone can be that vibe, or The Weeknd could be that club party.
You're right about that. Damn.
That could be. That's what I'm saying. Like club horror, if it's themed and if it's more along the lines of a zone. Maybe with, you put a bar in the back and you have some roaming characters that's like that could be cool. I think that I would be down with that personally. But I don't know. We have three other zones we haven't talked about though. What about the other three? You have the clip? You have the clip still?
The clippy, do I have
We could just roll it and talk about oh man,
he's like, that's a good one.
No. I like the other zones. Okay, so Cat Lady. Probably the biggest disappointment for me this year, zone wise, personally.
Yeah.
I think it's cool. It's got some cool ideas. I love how it looks. Like look wise, it's great. Costumes I think are fun. Masquerade. Okay. Let's stick with Cat Lady for now.
Cat Lady. I was so I was so happy until we got to the zone.
That's crazy. I was so
God.
happy until we got to the zone.
It's it's a thing.
It's fun. It's whimsical.
Yeah,
It feels very like it does feel kind of like very Disney esque, like almost like a cool like if Disney did something like this, like I could see a cool like it just kind of feels like almost like like fairy tale, scary tales a little bit, almost like kind of reminds me of what this zone almost kind of feels like a better version of something you might see at like a Howl-O-Scream Tampa. Like almost kind of has that vibe to it. Like the theme and the story idea of
yeah.
it, not the actual design because of obviously the design of the zone is way bigger than anything Howl-O-Scream is doing right now. But yeah, not a lot of actors in the zone. I don't know. I feel like there's a certain vibe that I'm trying to grab at this that I don't quite know how to describe it. It's like
Yeah, I
it's
could
not
definitely see because
it's not a comedy zone. It's not like a
yeah,
silly zone, but it's not scary. It's not like, it's not like a dark grim zone.
yeah,
It's like it's cute. I think that's a great like little description of it. It's a cute
it's
zone.
cute.
It's a cute zone. And it's like I think the show we ran
Hmm.
into this problem of like watching the show
Yeah,
is a pain, big pain because that show is long. It takes a minute for that show to happen.
yeah. You,
It's not
you,
like Mutations where the shows are 30 seconds long and then you can move along.
yeah, or little cuts or little quick ones. This one, it takes a while.
I don't know if I think it just needs more actors. I think if more actors would just make it feel because I feel like there's only about 3 or 4 actors in each section at any given time. In each of the
Hmm.
three, like from the trick or treaters to like the half cats to the actual cats at the end. Um, but I love the mini maze, the little walkthrough
Yes,
experience. That's badass. That is really cool. That's probably my favorite part of the zone. But yeah,
it's a thing.
yeah,
It's
it's cool.
it's
I will say it's not the worst zone of experience. Far from it.
true.
It's probably my least favorite zone this year, but like comparing it to let's say my least favorite zone last year, yeah, it's probably I would say my least favorite Central Park zone. I loved what they did with the swamp last year. I think that was kind of a very overlooked zone, and the jungle was cool. Jungle was cool
Mm.
as hell. And Scarecrow was Scarecrow. So
Scare.
it's like Central Park's had a lot of pretty solid zones, but I think like like I said, I enjoy it. I don't find myself wanting to go back there though.
Mm.
I usually find myself kind of avoiding. Oh, here he goes. This guy on the left with the camera. Don't put it away. The actors' faces. Um, but yes, yeah, it's cool. It's got the like fog feel. I haven't, like I said, I haven't really explored this zone, so I think like that's also maybe partially why I feel how I feel.
Yeah.
But
That whole the end area is a headache what we thought it was going to be. Like especially when you're walking forward and you hit that crowd, you're like, God, I'm just trying to like go to the left. And it's you got people that are trying to walk from Simpsons way that way too. So, you know, I like the idea of it. I just didn't feel like it was. I don't know. It didn't live up to the hype that I guess I had initially in my own thoughts on it.
yeah, which is valid. That's a valid take. So I guess this is a good transition into Origins of Horror because there's a comment about it here about the photo spots.
Ooh.
I feel that now, and that's kind of my big gripe with that part of the zone. So Origins, there's one thing about Origins that I love. That I love. It's not the crows,
I was gonna say, is it?
but they're fun. what I love about the zone
The
is
chainsaw noises.
when it works, the sign. They souped
Hmm.
up the sign this year. That's the best that sign has ever looked, in my opinion. When it works. Keep in mind it's changed colors a few times. It is off sometimes.
It's
But
going
if
good. It's
in the
going.
yeah, in the event that the sign works, it's the best looking sign because you have this like really moody scene. You have this sign which is blue or green. It hasn't been blue in a minute. So I think it was always supposed to be green, or they were like, hey, the B on the RGB is not working, so let's just make it G instead. Um, yeah, not taking pictures with the sign being teal. Yeah, because it doesn't look like it's gonna be teal for the rest of the event. Which green is my favorite color, so I'm okay with the green sign. Um, but the gargoyles, the project, like the shadow of the door, the creaking, the roaring, the birds,
Hmm.
the sounds, how it feels very eerie, and it is literally the welcome. It's like here's the gate. The gate is open.
The weird fire flame
Yeah,
that
the fire thing that
that
happens
no
every so
one
often
can.
because fire is cool, Chris. That's
Oh,
what
okay.
Mike Aiello said.
Oh, did someone ask him?
Yeah, somebody said, "What's
Like
the deal
what?
with the
It's like what
fire?"
the hell is?
Um, but I love how this whole thing is at night. I just sit there and watch and just listen to the sounds,
Mm.
and it's like
Yeah.
not those sounds, not those sounds. Chill. But like this guy right here on the left, look, here he goes. Tell him
Yeah,
to,
the gargoyles are always. They're like, yeah, come over here, come over here.
yeah, they'll pose for you, they'll dance for you, they'll do all kinds of picture things. But then I think once you go in here, it falls off for me. I love that
Ah,
front
okay.
side, the front side with the gargoyles, because also I don't love chainsaws, and when chainsaws are all of your actors, we have chainsaws in Springfield. I don't know why we have chainsaws also in the front,
Yeah.
but um, I love how the statues look, except that Freddy doesn't have a hand anymore.
So he still doesn't. So that thing's
I
gone.
mean, unless it comes back tomorrow.
He has no hand.
Yeah, he doesn't have a
What?
hand.
What? The,
Yeah, but I think this section is where it does feel that you feel that bottlenecky feel. Which I mean, I'm gonna be honest, it was kind of like that way before. It was kind of like that way before with all the other zones that were here.
yeah.
But yeah,
Because it's a weird thing in the middle, which I'm like, why? Why is that big thing in the middle? There he goes.
yeah, it's this large blue, which is blue like blue stone, which is also kind of like I said, it's very strange. I think it was in order to give it, but I think that might have been better if they pushed that closer to the front where they don't have anything. I guess that's where the
Mm,
crows roam.
yeah.
So
Our good old buddies, the crows that, we were promised to have these excellent crows. This is about the most I've ever seen them like actually interacting and dancing and stuff. And I was like, whoa,
I love them. They're not going to be
they're
as
trying.
expressive as Hollywood, but
Yeah.
they're fun. I like that they will speed across the thing. I watch them like freaking put their hand like wings out and start running around. I love them. I love the crows. But that's what I'm saying. I love the crows. I love the gargoyles. The gargoyles make up for like with the expressiveness the crows lack. The gargoyles make up for it because the
Mm.
gargoyles will like yeah they'll like freaking like growl. They'll put their feet. I've seen one like put his foot up on the thing and like pose. And I have some great photos of them. So yeah, I love it. I love that part of the zone. The other part of the zone is take it or leave it. Um, overall, I think it's a fine entrance zone. I think it works. Does the job. It does the job. It does the job. And
And the last one,
yeah, Masquerade Ball. As we approach 3 hours on the stream. Thanks for tuning in, y'all. The people who have been here from the beginning. I know there are a few of you. Masquerade Dance with Death. That's a shot.
yeah.
Good shot.
I try. Every once in a while I get something.
Um, but yeah, I love those two on there. I love the stilt walkers. Like the outfits that the stilt walkers wear, really great.
Mm-hmm.
The costumes in general in the zone is beautiful. Um, the one thing that does feel very weird because it does feel inconsistent is the whole like moment they do the sacrifice. Because some days I feel like it's like they do it all the time, and then others I feel like they do it every so often. Like it's not as frequent. Because I was sitting at Mel's with friends of the channel Wicked Thrill Seekers, and they were laughing at me for how annoyed I was getting at that loud thing. Also, you're muted. You're muted. I can't.
They were kidding, man.
What?
What at you
Oh
and
yeah,
how
yeah,
many
yeah.
times they were doing the show?
Every time they did the show, I'm like, come on again. Um, but yeah, I think it's a good zone. I think it's probably like as far as the formal scare zones go, I'd probably say this is my second favorite behind Mutations. Um, like I said, I think it's got good moments. I think it's got some good costume design, good set design. It's very regal. It's very good, looks good on camera. The colors of it, I like the purples, the pinks, the reds. I like the gates, how like it kind of has that same cast a shadow
Mm-hmm.
thing where the gates look very kind of menacing as you walk up at nighttime with the
Yeah.
fog and everything.
And you learn something about the zone, right?
Oh yes, 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 yes. There
Yes. Is that
apparently is a lore implication with the zone that ties it very close to El Artista, specifically the location of that house. And it is really interesting to kind of tie it into the zone. And it does feel like out of the main three zones, the one that ties closest to El Artista, like in the
yeah.
look, feel, the Gothic conservatory, the stained glass. So, yeah.
Yes.
Yes. I will say I prefer Demon Queens to the Masquerade.
Even with
Personally.
hearing surreal
Yes,
talk over and
yes,
over and over.
yes, yes,
Yes.
yes. Delightful. Yes, excellent. Yes.
Delightful.
So as we hit, I think we hit 3 hours. We've talked about everything.
Yeah.
I think it's time.
Ah, the final moments before the afterlife is here. If you wish to ask us any questions, do so right now. Ah, the final moments before the after.
I don't know how to work this thing, but
Delightful, yes. Oh.
yeah,
Oh.
this is when the music comes in. This is the music for do y'all know about this? What do y'all know about this? What do y'all know about this?
Hey,
If you're at the
he's
event,
got them for sale.
no, I'm not selling these. If you're at the event, turn this down. Yeah, turn this down. If you're at the event, do these. This is like one of I think the coolest things they're doing this year for the event. The cards. Oh, we did not talk about the shows. We should do that real quick. I have not seen Nocturnal Circus or the new one, Circus of
The
Decay.
new one, yeah.
I've heard it's actually really good. I've heard they've added new stuff that makes it better than the last show, which I'm excited. I will have to make time for it one of these nights. Maybe probably like the last night, I'll probably end up doing it because that's usually how things go. I saved one of the really cool things for the end, and then I'm like, damn, why didn't I do this earlier?
You're like, why didn't I watch this?
Lagoon Show's fun. I'm happy to have a Lagoon Show back.
Yes.
It's not my favorite show. It's no Marathon of Mayhem, but
And I've only watched it from
on the back.
New York every
Yeah,
time. I've always just stared up at the building projections.
It's fun. It's a fun show. I think they're good shows this year. Nothing that's mind blowing in my opinion, but I haven't seen the new the Nocturnal or the other circus show.
and I don't watch Nightmare Fuel, so sorry.
But yes, do the cards if you haven't already. These things are clutch, and it's free. It is free. Oh, you got a Lila.
Yes, that was what I got last time, right as we came back from California. I got this one.
Okay, Lila. Yeah, because I have...
The rest of them, I don't know where they are. I have them somewhere.
So you got this one, right? The Flesh Eater?
Yes.
The first one, Hero Flesh. The second one, this one's the rare one. I feel like this one's the one that if you were there the week that they dropped it.
Oh man.
That's the Grail one. And then this one, which this might be my favorite one.
Oh, that's so cool. You can tell I don't know how much it costs to print these, but the design on them are so darn
high quality.
Good. It is
high quality. And then the next one I believe is another mutant character. I would love a Hatchet and Chains one because that one is the only original we're missing.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm assuming we're gonna do 3 or
all
4
originals
more of these.
or
yeah. I'll be curious if we get like maybe a Gargoyle, maybe a Crow as one. I know Hollywood has their own for Hollywood friends. They're all like I want to say like Scarecrow themed. I know one is themed to the Witch's Zone.
Mm-hmm. The Brujas.
I would love to get those cards.
Oh man, I wish we could have had extra.
That's the thing is sometimes like because it's all linked to your account, so you can't even get extras ones. But I'm okay. Like I'm happy with these. Like I said, I'll go out of my way to go to the event to get one of these. And that's the key. That's why I think they work. And that's why I think Universal wants them to do is like you as a frequent fear holder, you're going to come to the event and you're going to do it. So
it's such an interesting thing that they just did. It started for FanFest in Hollywood. They're trying to get people involved now for Horror Nights, but it doesn't feel like it's much of or at least as far as I've seen, it doesn't seem to be a lot of people who are doing it or know about it. I know like some of the community is, but a lot of people, they'll like post these on Facebook or Reddit and people will be like, what is that? Like, what is that thing? I have no clue. I didn't know that was a thing. So I think Horror Nights maybe did a bad job of like getting it out there because it was only on the app. And if you didn't go like us who don't have a fan fest, you wouldn't have known what this is unless you click around the app and see what it says interactive experience. And I don't know what the Universal Showdown thing is. This something coming? Like, is it an interactive thing?
So from what I've been told, I want to say by a team member in the area where I was reading it, I don't know. From what I understand, it's supposed to be a game. So it's supposed to be a game you play and you collect cards and you add it. It's almost like a collector's thing. And you look at the bottom of the cards, they have Halloween Horror 2025. I would expect that next year, by the time next year comes around, the people that'll have these, it'll be a little more rare because of the people, most people aren't paying attention.
Yeah.
Because I understand FanFest. These could also tie in with the other holidays. Maybe Mardi Gras gets a card. Yeah. Christmas gets cards. Maybe summer gets cards. Epic could get these. So it's like it could be a thing that becomes like a part of the park, which I think would be really cool
in the long run. Yeah.
So tell people where to get them. So the way it works, you have a Universal account.
You go and watch the videos.
Yeah, watch your video. But they've actually changed it since then. They've made a little tweak.
Yeah, I was gonna say, wait a minute.
Because I walked friend of the channel DC Thrills. I walked him through how to do this.
Okay.
So you have an account. You have to have an account for Universal, obviously. On there, the easiest way to get there for me, if you go through the Halloween Horror Nights like tab, scroll all the way to the end, and go like it'll be like the Backlot Club Challenge. Yeah, it'll be that one with the logo on it, the one all the way at the end. I'm gonna make Chris's screen bigger. So that. You'll go to the bottom blue bar, hit the thing to play, and then you're going to make an account, make your profile, whatever. So access that, make an account, put a profile picture, whatever. You don't have to add up all your information in. It's just a thing of like, you do it there, and then I'll make it bigger again. So you can do trivia. There's trivia on there. It's not just that, but you have week 6. So that would be what you would click. You do that. Then what you're going to do is you're going to look for a touch point. So the touch point is going to be, there's a card you can add onto your wallet for an Apple Wallet. I don't know if it works for Samsung, but at the very least, even if you don't have the card, they have a little 4-digit code that you can punch in. If you know what the code is, you can do that. Bing. It'll send a little reward to your profile. At that point, that I believe the touch point now is at Revenge of the Mummy, just outside. They might move it, but most recently that's where it is. And then, as you can see on the map there, and then you go to 5 and 9, access it. They'll walk you through it at 5 and 9 how to access the actual rewards.
Yep.
But at that point, they'll give you the card as long as you hit the claim. It's a lot more complicated sounding the way I'm explaining it than it actually is.
Yeah.
I would say just make a point to have the account, find the touch point. Once it says, claim the reward, just go to 5 and 9, and then they can walk you through the rest. Has to be done only on event nights, so you can't do it on a Monday or Tuesday. It doesn't work like that. And it has to be picked up by 12.
Yes.
So you have to pick it up by midnight. You can't come in at
5 and 9, yeah.
At 5 and 9 exclusively in Hollywood. So don't sleep.
And for Hollywood folks, you go to the main Universal store, I believe.
Okay.
I believe that's where it was. Yeah.
You get some Hollywood cards.
Yep.
Oh, cool. Cool. No. I didn't know if you actually did it in Hollywood or not.
Oh, yeah.
Haven't done it.
Because they have it. The tower was literally right after you leave to go to the Curious George lot. It's literally right on the right-hand side, like once you get out of Hogwarts, it's like right there. So we walked up, we were like, boop. And then we're like, oh yeah, we got to go get these cards.
Also, can't do it during Stay and Scream. I did not know that.
Yeah.
I did not know that. But I guess it has to be during event hours specifically. But yeah, that's one of my favorite things this year. It's a little off the beaten path, but I mean, if you like originals especially, you get a free souvenir. Free.
Yeah, when did you ever say free at Horror Nights?
Yeah, this ain't like, free with purchase or free with this. All you have to do is make an account.
Yep.
That's the only thing you have to do. Make an account and do the little game. You don't even have to do trivia. Chris learned that the hard way. You don't even have to do nothing else. If you want to do that, you can, but you don't have to. And like I said, absolutely free. So take advantage of it. But yeah, I feel like any last minute questions, final thoughts overall and everything. I feel like we kind of covered a lot. I mean, all 10 houses, 5 zones, 4 zones and 2 street experiences. But
and go Club Horror.
That's another jump scare. So if you miss one, yes, sometimes they have old cards. Like if you miss one and they have extras, sure. I know recently they've had a few of the extras, but I know for this one, for example, one was a one and done because everybody wanted this one. Done. So the other ones I have noticed that they were like, how did you get last week's card? They sometimes have a few extras, especially if you go earlier in the week. Later in the week, I can't vouch for that. but yeah. We did mention this a little bit earlier, but talk about it again. I think so. I think that's a fair guess.
Netflix wants all eyes on this property, especially the fact that they'll already have people, excited for it this year when it debuts. Mm-hmm. And then next year, that will give them more money and more stuff to sell for Stranger Things 5. And we know Stranger Things was a part of HHN in Japan, right? if I'm
Yes.
not mistaken. So that's kind of an indication that it could be coming back to Horror Nights. Yeah.
Uh,
What about the Six Flags?
Six
Well,
Flags is done. I think they're done with
yeah,
that.
Six Flags
I
is
think they
they're
said.
definitely cutting a lot of stuff.
Well, also I think Netflix was like, no, sorry, we gave y'all the chance one time and y'all didn't really do much with it, so you can have your Saw, you can have your Conjuring, so 25 a piece on eBay. I believe it. People are selling them on eBay, which
What?
oh,
Oh,
yeah, people
shoot.
selling the cards.
All right. Sweet. Sweet.
Yeah.
Smells like money.
Oh man.
You know what? I think this could be a play if down the road, you know, Pokemon comes to Universal.
Yeah,
This
yeah,
could
yeah,
be
yeah.
a big play with that too.
It does feel like it's kind of a game like that, or it's like a
Mhm.
again something like some kind of card game that they want to do, because obviously this is branded Universal Showdown. So, and this is Universal. Both coasts have the same thing,
Mhm.
so I could see it being again coast to coast. Wouldn't be surprised if we get a Dom card when Hollywood Drift opens. We get a
Grinch miss one when you have a Grinch miss breakfast or something.
As long as they don't get to, because I think they realize that people, I wouldn't, I don't know if I would buy these.
Oh, don't
individually.
say that. Like a mystery pack. Oh man, they released a pack. It's a pack of 5. There's a mystery.
I probably
cards.
wouldn't buy them.
What would you buy them if they had ties to like past houses and icons?
See that's the thing. That's when it becomes dangerous for next year, because if they start making icon
we
cards,
threw a jack in there in the darkest deal. You're like, oh.
God damn it. Yeah.
Well, they're cards. They can't make them more than just a couple bucks. The new Studio Screamers.
They can, because they said this is a heavy card stock, and it's got this embossing on here. Damn. And then if you open up the pack, you basically can promote gambling.
Do not listen to anything we say, Universal.
No,
we're just joking.
See, here's the idea. What they could do.
So I will sign that.
That would be a great idea, wouldn't it
be?
Yeah. Okie dokie. Oh, man. Yeah.
Yeah, no Studio Screamers this year. Oh, rest in peace.
Last year was kind of the limp out for the Studio Screamers. I don't think last year was that great for Screamers. I didn't buy them last year.
You should do like a end of the year or end of the event. You know how like the Oscars do that, where they say like in memory of, and it should just be all the things that from this year of like HHN bar going from 4 characters to 2, and you do like that slow dissolve, and then it's like ding 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 ding, and you're playing the sad music.
Yeah, the tribute store.
Club horror. It's like at Scare Zone, and you're like,
oh my god. Oh man. Well, if you guys haven't already, if you haven't liked, comment, subscribe. Come on, baby. Zombie Chris. You got to do the live streams again. I feel like it's been too long. This is a lot of fun. If we have any more final questions, final last minute questions, because we are getting to 12:30 on our end.
Ooh,
long one.
That power hour.
Power hour. See, if this was tomorrow, then
one more doll appearances. What? Oh. Thank you, Queso. Now I can not sleep. Thank you.
You weren't going to sleep anyway. It's already 12:30. Yeah, thank y'all for being cool. For the folks who've been staying the whole time.
Jeez, y'all are the real ones.
Probably not as long next time.
All right. That is it. Thank you, folks. Thank you for all tuning in and the support. Thank you for listening to me rant and rave about Jason and not about that art popcorn bucket. Yeah. I'm gonna save that for later. Bye-bye. Good night,
Have a good
everyone.
one, y'all.
We will see y'all on I'm sure the next live stream whenever we wrap up HHN 34. Well, Mr. Dreamcore.
And with that, it's time to go see you guys on the other side.
See you all in the fog.